Recording. And now I need my notes because I never know what to say. Welcome, my friends. Welcome back to the Krieg Dominion. I'm Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for this, oh my goodness, 30th episode of Along the Frontier, an alien campaign entitled Marine Country 4, Part 3. There's a lot of numbers in there, so please don't get confused. This is just the third part of the fourth time that we did downtime stuff. That's really what this boils down to. I am joined by Kane, Luke, and Rodance. Let's take a moment to check in with our friends and see how they've been over the last week or so since the last time we met. Meanwhile, I'll just be over here taking stock of what remains after the incident. Rodance, what's new and exciting for you, my friend? You're muted, by the way, if you can't tell. Yes, I planned the last couple of these.
I'm just sitting here and I'm going like, I can click on the link in the Discord. I open up the Twitch. I beat Hoshin!
Oh, you got in
because he's
before
literally in there chit-chatting about us in the background. And of course it'll be the day he doesn't come at all.
Yeah.
And comment and doesn't comment. But it's still funny.
Yeah, that is amusing. I won't lie.
If he doesn't show up at all, then
he's in Discord, just be, so
if he doesn't show up at all, then it'll be the only way you can win is when he chooses not to play.
That sounds about right. So what's new and exciting for you?
Oh, not much. Let's see. I'm gonna have to break down and go do early voting this week. I didn't realize that the early voting station was like an extra mile down the road. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go do this so I can do it before work and not have to negotiate having to do it on the day of instead. Because I figure the lines will be shorter.
I love it. On my phone, I see that Rodance typed, I beat Hoshin, ha, or lol. And then the next line I see is Hoshin saying, what? I look over on my OBS. Rodance's first message doesn't even show up on my OBS, but it does on my phone.
Yeah. I still see you as being marked as offline, so I'm assuming my Twitch is misbehaving.
Are you talking about me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing myself I'm streaming on my phone.
I'm currently padding viewership right now. It works just fine.
Yeah. I'm definitely I always pad my own viewership though. The whole reason for the whole face hugger joke series for 30 episodes now has been, this is my bullshit line, and then while you guys talk, I'm over here getting this set up on my phone, because honestly, it's not that I joke about it. It's not so much to pad my viewership numbers, although that is a nice side benefit. The main reason why I do it is because sometimes I won't notice that somebody has chatted something in OBS, or I'll have something over OBS in my second monitor, so I have my phone in front of me, so maybe I'll catch it then.
Yeah.
On your micro monitor?
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Yeah, it does work out that way, though.
Yeah.
But,
so yeah, early voting.
Really not an awful lot going on other than I'm planning on doing some early voting this week, and then the election is next week. Also, this weekend is daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Then the election, and then hopefully I'll stop getting nonsense in my mailbox. I get so many political flyers that I literally just take out recycle bin. I'm like, I literally pull out fistfuls every day, and
I don't even check my mail
anymore.
It's
gonna take 2 or 3 weeks for all that shit to work its way through the postal system after the election's over.
Yes, but you know what will also stop after the election is over? The random texts and or phone calls that I've been getting.
Answer those?
No. I don't even. Actually, I'm not even sure. So I have one.
Point, unless you're in my address book, I don't even answer my phone anymore.
I have one that has called me for like.
Phone call.
I've gotten one every day or.
I do the same.
Pretty much.
I didn't for a little bit recently, but I have one now.
I've got a phone call today and yesterday, and I want to say maybe Thursday and Friday. Excuse me, last week from Ashland, Pennsylvania. And the only reason why I know I get this phone call is I'll get the notification after they tried to call me, because it'll be like, silenced phone call missed. I'm like,
well, you mean the ones who call and just leave you a voicemail and don't actually ring you?
Well, yeah,
that's
usually that's because your phone or your carrier is like, this is probably spam, we're just gonna block or not block it. We're just gonna silence it for you, and then you get the voicemail. But these fuckers will leave a voicemail. Ooh, 459. That might be a little bit close. They'll leave a voicemail, and I'll play it, and either I can't hear it because I'm plugged to the Bluetooth of my truck because I've just got done watching a YouTube video for the last however long, or somewhere in that system it's just not reading it. But I'm just like, well, it's not even giving me text, which I usually get with my voicemail. So delete and don't care about it because Verizon says this is probably a spam number, and they silenced the call, so I don't even know they called.
You know what I'm sad is I haven't been able to catch either the I want to buy your house people or the your car's extended warranty people lately, and I do occasionally enjoy messing with them.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I got a. Where was I at? Oh,
That literally, I'm sad that I haven't gotten any, so I could mess with them, and that's the level of boring my life is right now.
I got a scam text on.
That's a good board, though.
Mm-hmm.
I had a scam.
It's just this week.
Yeah, I had a scam text on Friday. It was an image saying that I owed some local municipality because it was like a road toll fare because I was on I-405 or something, and it was like I owe like $4 or some shit, and I'm like, I saw it, and I was like, a couple of things right off the bat. I really thought about texting this person back, but I knew if I did that, then it would just invite more scam bullshit. But I was like, oh man, I really want to send this back. Let me point out a few things that you got wrong. One, I haven't been on I-405 in several years. Two, if I get a notice for going through a telephoto toll booth, it's gonna come in the mail. It's not gonna go to my phone. Also, you're just plain stupid for even trying to scam me in the first place. Fuck off.
Wouldn't it be a fine? Like,
well, it's like if you go like there's one in California that I got hit with last year because if you take US 101 north out of San Francisco, that takes you over the Golden Gate Bridge. And somewhere along there, I'm not sure if it's for the bridge itself or somewhere in that area, there's a toll, but you don't stop anywhere to pay it. They just send you an invoice, and you send it back or go pay online.
it's kind of cool.
And there's a number of places across the country that do that. And so that's what the scam was trying to insinuate, was that this is another one. I'm like, first of all, I have not been that far north of where I live, and I don't know how long, unless I was going to the airport, and I don't need to get on I-405 to do that. Now that I've just basically outed myself for where I live. Although I'm sure there's more than one I-405 in the country. Near an airport. Anyway, Luke, since I'm on a tirade, what you got for me, man? What's your input going to be for my AI generated tirade?
Swords and more swords.
I
started going
hours.
to.
No, I can't.
I started going back to fencing a lot more HEMA.
Yeah.
And I'm exhausted. They have been running me through all these circuits and things, and we actually had a tournament last weekend where one of our club members got gold again in some random small town that we just trounced, and it was great.
Were you in the tournament, or were you there for support?
No, I wasn't I was there for support. Okay. Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Well, normally when that sort of thing happens, it's not so much the club signing up. Individually, you still have to sign up. Am I right?
Individually, yes.
Yeah.
So you would have like pools that would be like 20 combatants, and then you would basically like cut down in like half, and then do your elimination or like single round eliminations until you get to your finals and things like that.
Right. The chat is killing me. Working at a Christian discount store during the holiday season. Oh my God, that would be horrible. No pun intended with my statement. Sorry. Please continue. Let's keep talking about swords and not the horror story of working at a Christian discount store in the holidays.
Yeah, that's most of that. I'm on a stop of work, I guess, which is an important thing. Not like permanent or anything, but like a leave, I guess. So I have all kinds of time now to do all kinds of other things that I need to do and focus on my mental health and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's been a a stressor on my mind for the last 2 days.
Yeah,
As you
I
guys
can imagine.
know, when you're not working, you're like, okay, what do I do now? Take a nap or be productive?
And in my experience, nap wins.
Well,
Which
for the
is
first couple days.
Yeah, which is funny that you mentioned mental health because for this show starting off as something close to a horror RPG with a sci-fi element, somehow this became a vehicle for promoting mental health. Which don't get me wrong, like I'm laughing, but that ends up actually being a good thing, you know. But when I started this
Permanent
project,
mental trauma is a table in this game.
yeah, like when I started this
Yeah, it is.
project, I did not expect it to become the vehicle for mental health that it has become. Not that
Yeah.
it's a huge vehicle or anything, but a bicycle is still technically a vehicle. I saw that, Kane. Kane laughing at my stupid jokes today. It may have started with the Steve Jobs comment I opened up with. I don't know. You got anything else, Luke?
No, that was pretty much it for now.
Awesome.
Pretty excited to see what kind of therapy session we're going to be into this today, but I'm not sure if we're doing therapy again.
No,
Well,
we
the
got
therapy-
therapist, head shrinker to sign off on our
Yeah.
continued performance. Remember?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh man.
Let me
Which is
see
a
if I can
bad
pronounce her
decision.
name because I remembered to write it down. Let's see. Last week.
It was something I can't remember her first
Holly
name. Yep.
Jaleel.
Jaleel, yeah.
Jaleel.
No, I have it spelled as JEL-EEL. Jaleel.
Jaleel.
Well, it was Jaleel, but close enough.
That was the phonetic that I heard, so that's what I
It's
wrote
all
it
good.
down
Listen,
as.
my Midwest and then wander the entire country of the United States and change my accent over time. I can see why that would happen.
Oh yeah, we're totally prepping for movie night for Cosa Nostra 3.
Yeah, La Costa Nostra 3.
Also, I think I am outing myself by wearing my Timberlounge shirt, because if you do any kind of Googling, you'll probably narrow it down to like 3 or 4 different locations that exists, and you'll be like, oh, there it is.
Well, you definitely outed yourself because until you did this, nobody knew exactly what your shirt said.
Well, I gotta do this sometimes, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Kane, what's new and exciting for you, my friend?
Well, I don't have anything obvious going on that lets me join the self-outing club right now, so...
Well, we're exclusive like that.
Yeah. I'm just not exclusive enough for the exclusive club.
I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot. I have a phone again. I got a new phone. I was trying really hard to ride that last one until they patched it with a suicide patch. And
oh god, I hate when they do that.
I mean, they'd done a couple of things to it where the phone was barely doing what I needed it to do. But you know what?
Yeah.
It took phone calls, it sent text, and it allowed me on Discord, so I was still good with it.
Yeah, I mean that's the bare bones basics right there.
So I
have a Pixel 5. I'm about to have to update to a new cell phone case before I replace this sucker.
Damn.
Yeah,
they're up to 9 now, by the way, just so we're clear. I'm 4 generations behind.
No, I was doing pretty good for the last run. The phone I had, I went from the Android that was the sliding screen for the keyboard. I replaced that with an S9. So I let that bitch ride all the way till then. Like the case on the back to hold the battery in had warped. I stuck a POG in the back in order to keep the battery in on the contacts.
Wait, was it an Aphes POG?
It was an Aphes one, yes. It was
For those that don't know,
my super sick holographic 25-cent POG.
Oh wow, you must have had a collector's edition right there.
Yeah, man, it was good shit.
You Air Force boys getting all the solid cool shit.
And working washing machines, because fuck y'all keep breaking everyone else's.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But I had the POG stuffed in the battery case because it was so badly warped, it wasn't holding the battery on the leads anymore. And I still kept rocking that phone until it suffered a fatal software error and just died. It wasn't fixable. Nobody would fix it. I couldn't get a software package to try to put onto the phone because it was dead. So I got that S9, and I've been rocking the S9 for a while, and I plan to give it another like 8 or 9 years before I replaced it. And I climbed a tower with it, used it to take some pictures, and I had vastly underestimated
how gravity works.
no, well, I guess how much my forearms are going to tolerate it. It's like I go to the gym regularly. This will be fine. And climbing up the tower is like my legs are fine, my shoulders are fine, my back is fine. All these things everyone warned me were going to be not fine. It was my forearms that died. So by the time I got up, and there's this like seat attached to the harness, which by the way didn't fit. It was designed. It was custom sized for somebody 40 pounds lighter than me. And all that 40 pounds is around my belly. So, but I had a little saddle thing you could clip on and just like hang out on a swing up there to take the weight off, which I didn't need for my legs, but I needed so I could like curl my hands up so that I could uncramp my forearms and then do the work up there. So I do the work, take the picture stuff, put it in the little drop bag I've got for tools, and then I work my way down the tower. So I climbed a really weirdly shaped 100-foot ladder and then climbed back down a really weirdly shaped 100-foot ladder. Get to the bottom.
Like the pegs?
No pegs. So it was horizontal elements only on one side of the tower, and otherwise it was X's between. But the gap between the rungs was 3 feet.
Oh no!
So you had to step and you had to grip on the weird angles, and you had to step in the cross to be able to make it to the next step without like reaching really far and putting that extra strain on.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to the bottom, like my hands are shakingly tired. I can't feel my forearms at that point, but I know my grip strength is so bad for the last few rungs, I was just looping my arm around to bear weight. So I'm exhausted. I don't want to do that anymore. And my ground person is putting things in my hands. Like, okay, this comes out of the bag here, hold on to this. And I was like, I can't. And I just put it down. Like, I just get this shit off of me so I get a drink and sit down. Apparently, while we're out in bear country in the middle of fucking nowhere on this tower, the phone was handed to me and my automatic response was cannot hold, put back down. We think I put it on the back bumper of the Jeep before we humped it back through the trails, so that bitch is gone. The bears have my phone.
Oh no!
Wow, that's
So that was the loss of that phone. A phone that I had dropped down concrete stairs, throw it off a 3-story building just for shits and giggles. Like, it didn't die. It got lost. That's what happened to it. It's a sad early termination to another epic phone run.
amazing. But you have a new phone now.
But now I have a new phone, which means I have none of my data on it. I have none of my apps. I have none of my contacts. There was no data transfer because the bitch is gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot of problems. But
I mean, on the one side, you don't have a lot of old
S24.
contacts you don't need anymore.
I guess so. There's some X's I don't have to worry about looking at the number of anymore.
There are a number of people that I served with in the Army that are on my phone that I have not talked to since I left the Army, and I just haven't cleared out all my old contacts.
So you're saying you do not use your Apple ID or your Google account to save your contacts?
No.
Well, first off, information security.
Yeah, if Google wants to have the like phone numbers and addresses and other details that I put in my contacts, they can steal them like every other government does. I'm not just gonna give them to Google for free.
Now, my Google account may have access to some stuff because I use.
Do you use an Android phone?
No, I have an
Android.
They got all your shit anyways. Why are you worried about it?
Because I want them to go through the extra steps of stealing my stuff so I can be indignant about it later.
I just don't want to.
We just had all of our personal information and medical records stolen after those couple of medical data collection companies all got hacked. They literally have all of our medical records.
Sure.
Like this, but like, I don't worry about putting my social security number down on forms for places because everybody already has that. I was in the military. My records got stolen on average every 2 years by foreign governments, and our own major companies. So it's all out there. But I like for them to take the extra criminal steps so that I can feel better about myself.
Yeah.
For a result that's going to happen anyway.
I'm not going to sit here and
I
stress
just
over
hear
holding on
I'm
to it.
inconveniencing myself and lost all my contacts.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, but
this,
I don't
but
want,
this way I
want
can
all
bitch
those
about it
contacts
and
on my
feel.
own phone.
that's
this
that's
way-
definitely a military thing. I want to be able to bitch about it.
Yeah, this is so that I can stand on my muddy horse and be a bitch. That's what I want.
All right, let's get into our show. We're like 50 something minutes beyond our predetermined starting point, so let's start here.
That was a pretty military answer. I would like to reserve the right to bitch.
Yes, it
No,
absolutely
It's
was.
your
I loved it.
God-given right to bitch.
Yes, it
There's
is.
a difference.
I gotta have some coffee.
My notes indicate that we are just about set to have our in one of y'all's hotel rooms our showing of La Cosa Nostra 3, The Neighborhood Dad. Or whatever.
Yeah, man.
I believe I actually named this The Neighborhood Dad, and in parentheses La Cosa Nostra Volume 3. Where are we? Who's there? I imagine we have our normal Marines. We have Pike, we have Wescott, we have Warren. Is Tom Stevenson with you as well? Would you have brought him back after dinner?
I mean, seeing as we're having the movie in my room, I would have brought him back enough to say, "Hey, thanks. I now have promised movie night with my dudes."
Okay.
Fist bump.
Okay. Yeah.
Hug.
I think
we'll work on better personal life planning later.
Yeah, I think he's more than happy. I mean, he there's a moment where he's like, "Oh, I really wish I could hang out," but you know, it's a group thing. It's fine. Like, he gets it. He was in the military for a little while too. He gets it. He gives you a hug and says, "Enjoy yourself," and then, you know, promptly disappears around the corner. Pike, I don't know what the 2170s has for personal cellular type communications, but you do get a note of some sort, whether it be a pager note, a text message, a canary.
It's future space 80s.
Yes.
I've got a pager.
Yeah.
It's a big one too, with a loud, obnoxious tone.
Because it's Pike.
Well,
he's probably got two.
It's an 80s pager.
You probably have two.
Was it an 8-bit
You have
display?
a personal one, and you have one from the military. Do you carry them like side by side on your belt, or are they like one on each side of your belt?
They're probably side by side.
Okay. Well, you get one from Eckhart.
Okay.
And she says something to the effect of, I have a bottle of tequila, and I have a pair of legs, and they're both open.
Is she drug texting him?
Yeah, I mean, I cannot currently confirm nor deny that statement, but yeah.
That sounds like
on the way.
Are you dropping the? Are you forgetting about the bro code?
He's about to commit a crime. So I think what he does is he sends a message to Wescott that says, God, how would he phrase it? He wouldn't send literally, "I'm about to commit a crime," but
or maybe that's code for "I'm about to get some nookie." I don't know if anybody actually uses that phrase anymore.
No, he sent him as a rare opportunity, taking it up.
That's the code. That's the code. Rare opportunity.
You literally get the equivalent of back.
It's literally just ACK. Not a single letter is capitalized. No punctuation. Nothing. It's just ACK. But you can feel the heat on it. You motherfucker. All right, well, that leaves Warren and Wescott to watch this movie. I do have a generalized synopsis of what happens. Would you like to actually pay attention to the movie and thus me read it, or would you guys like to talk about whatever in between the lengthy scenes of pasta-filled dialogue?
So we get an entire spread of several bottles of alcohol and way fucking too much breakfast food because Pike isn't here to eat it.
Yeah, that's
Fuck.
right.
So
Somebody was
We
like,
now have, like,
I
we
need
now have, like, 8 people
72
worth of
hash
breakfast
browns.
food and only
So
two
what
of
I'm hearing
us.
is a drinking game of like the pastaning drinking game.
We come up with we need to come up with we sit there and we make up a drinking game that we think that the other two would
I'd
have.
like to imagine there's a handful of pasta in the corner of the TV, and anytime it looks like somebody has a pile of pasta on their head, you have to take a drink. I'm sorry,
That
it
is
just
some
made me
The
think of the
Room
whole Santa
level.
Claus hat thing.
Oh yeah.
But of course, it's a movie about people eating pasta and killing each other.
Yeah. So we set up a drinking game.
Right.
Except that half of the rules are you have to eat some hash browns, and the other half is you have to take a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, eating the greasy hash browns are how you're going to remain conscious until the end of the movie.
Yeah. Especially with the pasta corner.
Mhm.
I've once attempted the drinking game for Lord of the Rings.
Oh, which one's that?
Didn't make it. It's like whenever Aragorn does like something heroic, whenever Legolas looks into the distance longingly, or like
You
basically just like
would
anytime.
be blackout drunk after like the 2-minute trailer.
Well,
Really?
it's a long movie and a lot of things happen very slowly, so you just kind of like simmer with the alcohol for a while like all this stuff is happening all the time.
Yeah. Volume 3 of this movie series follows the story of an attack on the family mansion, killing several members of the family, but most importantly, the matriarch. After several long scenes of grief, funerals, wakes, and plenty of pasta, a family member begins to realize this was no accident after all, but rather intentional, and begins meeting with other family members and members of other families to get to the bottom of it all. The movie finally closes with the final act of convincing the patriarch to agree to a raid on the rival family villa in Italy, the actual raid where many of the two families are shown being cut down in extreme violence. Finally, in the closing moments, the patriarch is seen kneeling before the grave of his beloved matriarch, pronouncing that in the end, everything he had ever done was for her and her safety and her love. The scene in the movie closes out with him curled up over her grave as rain begins and the sounds of a solo violin and electric guitar gently fade away. I
So how
could
drunk
not
do we think we
conceive.
are?
What's that?
So how drunk do we think we are after that drinking game?
Oh, you fucking
There,
black
Warren.
out. Or just dead.
Oh yeah.
Not dead, but like passed out. Like you're out.
I feel like that would be all we remember from the film is what you just said.
Yeah, that's like the best synopsis you could possibly come up with, and you'd probably have to pass a wits roll -2 to come up with that much. I remember the violin, there was a guitar, somebody killed somebody at least 3 times, and there was a lot of tomatoes diced. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what else we have here. Close that, open this, pull out that, slip
Did
it over
somebody
there.
try to peel a tomato at one point? Holy shit.
Yeah, I feel like somebody might have. I don't know exactly.
You guys can't see it, but my cat is sitting on the other side of the couch watching you on the TV.
Nice. Hi, kitty. Let's see. Oh, we don't need to do this particular scene. We've already done that particular scene. This scene, however, let's see. Yep, nope, we don't need to do that. All right, I opened the wrong one. I still opened the wrong one.
I can't lift my arms over this after class tonight. While he's checking for his notes, we were doing circuits, longsword, and at some point my arms are like this high with the sword in my hand, and he's just like, raise your hands, you're gonna get hit, and I'm like just getting hit in the head. I'm like,
I probably should not be laughing at that too much, but I definitely understand that one. You know what? Here's a scene that we do end up having. Pike, you and Eckhart do whatever it is that two consenting adults do behind closed doors when they enjoy each other's company.
With tequila.
And
Stop
tequila.
going close.
Wait.
How much of a mutant are you exactly?
That was fucking amazing. You just happen to have that tape measure right there too, and I don't want to know why it's so close to your computer and camera. Ah, yeah, that's right. I flipped it back on you. I had your back for a moment, Cade.
The amount of stuff that I have on my desk is just ridiculous. Like my tournament axe.
Okay, a bipenis. So yeah.
I have an antenna at my desk that's connected to nothing.
That's good.
I'm getting weird looks. My sister's not impressed.
Yeah, Pike, you and Eckhart do things for a while. Then eventually you both pass out between exhaustion and alcohol and whatever else it is that two people do behind closed doors. At some point though, you do wake up, probably around, I don't know. I have a problem where if I have a handful of drinks and I go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I still manage to wake up for some stupid reason at like 8 or 9 and be like, I should probably sleep for another 2 hours. But yet here I am. I'm awake and my brain just turned on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're like that at all.
Yeah. I don't know hangover, just like you're
Oh
up
no, the
for some
hangover
reason.
will still hit. Or the headache
yeah.
at the least, because I'm dehydrated.
Yeah.
But
with the
Are you
hangover,
still drunk
not
when you
not
wake
as
up
much.
4 hours later?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's
I don't typically wake up drunk. I mean, I only have a couple of beers and I'm ready for bed, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to bed. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired as fuck.
Okay.
And oh, yep, there's the alcohol. Yep, I felt it as I bounced off the wall.
Oh boy, I've got some stories. We're going to move on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That would totally change the flavor of this stream. She wakes up. You have an opportunity. Well, you both wake up. You have an opportunity to maybe bounce some ideas off of her. Based on your recent conversations with a man with a weird badge and a piece of paper that had a handful of very distinct letters.
Let's see. How do I want to do this?
Slightly hungover at the least. Or maybe you exerted yourself before the alcohol could really take effect.
I mean, he definitely got some cardio in.
I'm not sure if we'd call that cardio, but go ahead.
I mean,
conditioning.
Depending on what you're doing and for how long, it could be cardio.
If you do anything long enough, there's cardio involved. Absolutely.
The helicopter.
I almost spit Pepsi everywhere. Fuck you.
She's a pilot. I mean, you call it the helicopter. She's gonna be impressed.
That's a new euphemism. That's a new code. I'm doing the helicopter. I'll be back in a couple hours.
Yeah. That's what she sent her crew chief when she didn't show up to their movie night. I got an appointment with a helicopter. I'll check it later.
Oh my god. What have
You
this
know
stream
that,
become?
in another 6 months, when we're in the middle of having somebody's wedding ceremony after we all eventually retire, you guys are gonna get a bunch of freaking helicopter-themed stuff all over the wedding cake.
Oh, that's amazing. And some of it will be like totally innocent too, like just an Apache just flying on one side, but then there's just nothing but a bunch of Hueys.
From somebody who didn't get the reference and just thought we were like,
yeah,
absolutely,
or something. Absolutely.
Just really into helicopters.
Yeah.
Like old historic helicopters.
So I think he's laying there. He's awake. He sees that she's awake. I did look into it. I think I just assumed for so long that that I was property, I guess.
She rolls over, and she's got that look in her face of like, did you just start a conversation mid-sentence? And I don't... Oh. Ooh, let me try that again. Hold on. Ooh. Did you just...
Oh, but you can take a minute if you need. I'm not going.
Yeah, she gets up. She's just like in the bathroom. She rolled over far too quick. Uh, there's plenty of sounds that we do not need to go into, but we all know what those sounds are. Followed up with some running water and toilet being flushed and whatnot. She comes out a few minutes later. And of course she's standing there completely naked, leaning against the wall, because for some reason that's what people do.
80s.
Yeah, 80s. Well, we had to have the full frontal nude shot to include the landing strip, you know. I had to be in there for the video. So yeah, she's just leaning there, rubbing at her eyes a little bit. She's like, what in this shit are you on about now?
Now that we've gotten the obligatory, like, poster scene, you'll, like,
yeah, exactly.
for her to, like, come back to the bed.
Yeah. Like, listen, all I got to say is space 80s, man. In the 80s, that was a normal thing. Here's a full frontal shot for absolutely no reason but the full frontal shot.
But he'll gesture for her to come back to the bed and lay down.
Yeah, she does. She absolutely does after a minute. She's like rubbing at her eyes. She's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's a great idea.
I can leave the Marines.
What? Why would you do that? I don't understand. What the hell is wrong with you?
Wrong with me?
This is not... Okay, listen, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. This has been really cool and all, but I have no idea what you're talking about right now, so maybe start in the beginning?
Well, I
see which direction you're going with this, by the way, which is not at all what either she nor I expected.
I just... Recently, I've been wondering what was going to happen to people after the Marines, since other people go home. They do their tour, they leave, and they start their lives. And I guess until somewhat recently, I didn't really have any reason to think about what my future could be without the Marines. I didn't know that I was allowed to leave until I looked it up. I just kind of assumed that I was property, that my rights were effectively ride or die. I didn't know that when the program closed out, I have the same options as everyone else.
I think she's looking at you, and like every now and again you'll see like she'll kind of like lean to one side, and she'll lean to the other side, and she's listening to you, everything you're talking about, everything you're saying. At one point she grabs an arm, one of your arms, and looks like right in here on the forearm, like the inside of the forearm, and then she sets it back down. And then when you get to the end of that and you're talking about, you know, you thought you were a property but you're really not, and she looks at you, she's like, nope, didn't see any barcodes. I looked at it, it's mine. I had to say that line. I'm so sorry.
I think he chuckles and he's like, I mean, that's part of why I wanted to look stuff up. I wanted to know if that kind of claim could be made.
And then she realizes what she just said and wow, you may have taken it. And she's like, oh. Ooh. I did not mean to accelerate things any faster than either of us might be ready for right now. And you could tell, like, she's, like, super embarrassed. Because she is thinking that you were thinking about leaving the Marine Corps in order to pursue a relationship with her, because she knows that you can't do that as an enlisted man. Because she's an officer, not for any other reason, for those that are not keeping up.
I mean, I'm still figuring things out myself, but it's something that I wanted to consider. Something that seems to be getting important enough that I wanted to know what I could and couldn't do.
Okay. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to make you leave Marine Corps, though.
I mean, you've never asked me or questioned or anything along those lines.
I just didn't want you to. I couldn't. She just stumbles for a minute. She doesn't know what to say.
Look. You haven't asked me to do anything like this. I'm telling you that this is becoming important enough to me that I'm looking up these options.
Okay. Don't mind me. I'm looking for something because I don't remember what my notes said about something now. What time did I tell you guys had to be on the tarmac?
Noon.
Noon? Okay. I think she takes a moment, and she's probably, I imagine maybe by this point she's just kind of laying there, and she's got it like, laying with one arm propped up, her head in her hand, just looking at you, listening to you, and she's like, I am flattered that you feel that way about whatever we could be and what that might mean for the future. And I don't know what my part in that is right now. I have not given it any thought any further than a good night with someone who I knew would make it a good night. But at the same time, well, I can't lie to you and say that I've not been paying attention to the radio every time you stepped off for the last couple missions. I don't know. And she kind of takes a moment. And I don't know if Pike would pick up on this, but the audience watching this movie would pick up on the obvious visual cues of her, searching her feelings. And there's a moment where she's like, not sure if this is what she wants.
I'm not asking you for any answers right now. I'm just sharing what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I guess it's opening the door for
another conversation later.
For when, if you decide that you want to have that conversation, I'm here to have it if you want it.
She takes a moment to think it over, but she's got a bit of a smile on her face as she's doing so. She's like, okay, yeah. We just might have that conversation in the future. And the camera fades out and zooms in on Warren, who's all by himself at this point. I got nothing for Warren. I just wanted to point that out. I'm sorry. Kind of a bit of a dick move, but...
I'm pretty sure we are drunkenly sleeping in my hotel room, because that drinking...
Yeah. I mean, listen, Warren, I gotta ask you, listen, let me say this. Before I ask the question, let me preface it with, I do not necessarily condone this sort of behavior, but is Warren the kind of guy that might have a few drinks and start thinking that boundaries are suddenly loosened?
No, he's probably upside down on the couch, passing right out.
Upside down on the couch. I can't be the only one that, as a kid...
I still know how to sit. Damn it, I'm not that drunk. He starts turning upside down to try to put his ass on the upright part of the couch.
Listen, I will tell you something.
This. The world, I'm not so drunk I can't do with the world being spinning and upside down.
Let me tell you, I spent many a morning, many an afternoon as a child sitting on the couch upside down because that's how the astronauts went into space. And I know I cannot be the only one to have admitted that out loud. Fuck you if you haven't.
Oh yeah, I have.
Thank you. I feel exoneration now.
I would
used to,
do
like,
it
set up
because it
the
was a lovely
fan.
backstretch.
That, yeah, definitely.
I used to set up the fan too so that it would have the air, and then my dad pointed out that there'd be no airflow in a spacecraft, and I'm like, oh,
Ironically, there is.
But it
really?
makes you feel like you're moving.
Yeah.
Well, so there's airflow inside the vehicle because in space, heat doesn't radiate away the same as it does in atmosphere. So
Oh no, it does not.
air conditioning inside the vehicle is a common thing. And of course you get your normal air circulation and reclamation and whatnot, but like there's air conditioning as well. Especially considering, like computers give off a lot of heat. Especially in tight spaces, so they have to work really hard about keeping the environmental controls or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, you guys have a couple of hours left if there's anything you want to get to. Otherwise, le tarmac, as they may say in Quebec.
Yeah, I think
I'm sorry, Quebec. Quebecois.
Yeah, nobody likes Quebec. Nobody likes Quebec.
I know. Nobody really likes France either.
Less Quebec.
Ironically, France and Quebec do not like each other, I'm sure, because each of them thinks they're more French than the other.
Yeah, and
I feel like I'm hitting a nail on the head and not even trying right now, to be honest.
no, it's so true. You go to Quebec, and
the
you
nail head on
in.
this one is really big.
Probably.
But like, you go to Quebec and you get to like the border, right? And then you go into a shop and you're like, "Allô, j'aimerais-tu avoir quelque chose à boire?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, well the drinks are over there." Like, I'm trying here. But like
oh god, please go back to English. You're butchering this. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. And I'm actually native French, so I was butchering that on purpose. But the point being is, you get like way more into Quebec, and all of a sudden, like they don't even get entertain you. They're like, no.
No. It's like no in English, except you sound like an asshole. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm pretty sure I don't have much of a French viewership, but if I did, they're fucking gone.
No, they're probably finding it funny. French loves self-deprecation. Like it's yeah.
Well, maybe my French viewership will increase. Look at that, my views just went from 4 to 5.
People talk about how angry German sounds so angry.
Yeah, it does.
But two people in French who are having an argument is a whole level of like aggression. Just the way that it sounds.
I've never heard two people speaking French have an argument with each other. But I digress.
Two people who speak French in a room for like half an hour, you'll get one.
Because they're both assholes.
Have an entire conversation by saying "ça va." The whole conversation. But I've seen a road rage video where like this guy was like behind another guy who had like a bunch of snow on his car, and he goes and he cuts some off, and he gets out of the car and he's got his wiper and he's like trying to like wipe the thing off, and then the guy gets out of the car. He's like, "What are you doing?" And they like punches him, and then like starts wiping the car off with the wiper. And this is like Canadian road rage in a nutshell. Just like,
they're both sitting there aggressively apologizing to each other.
Yeah, like just like trying to clear the car of snow so that it doesn't become a hazard. And it's like this the most like wholesome argument.
All right, what are we doing between waking up with varying states of hangoverness, extricating yourself from a female partner in some cases, in other cases, perhaps writing yourself on the couch, or figuring out how you got bundled up inside all those blankets.
It's a new day. I have to roll again.
That's also a thing. Let's go ahead and get that roll, Rodance. How people-y are you going to be peopling today?
People it up.
Oh, not at all. Warren, you've got your hands full, my friend.
Hey, I dragged myself out of bed this time. I'm not having a repeat. I got chewed out really nastily by a Pike last time, remember?
Somewhat, but you did fail the roll. So, Warren, you need to help your friend out a lot.
You probably need to wake me up, if nothing else.
Oh, waking her up is probably easy. It's the keeping her awake.
It's getting the any amount of get up and go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
she would. Like, just because you get hit with the bad roll doesn't mean you don't do it at all.
Okay, that's a fair point. I feel like you are absolutely dragging heels. You're like, it's 10 o'clock. We need to be there.
Unfortunately, active participant in life.
Yeah, I think
I wake up. The alarm goes off. I look at it. I roll back over. Go to sleep for another hour. He then wakes me up an hour later, and I'm very grumbly.
Oh yeah.
And then he just bribes me with coffee, as is appropriate.
Which is ironic because he is also bribing himself with coffee.
yeah. I get the extra coffee from him bribing himself with coffee.
And because this might come up, and it's a funny but random rule, drinking coffee increases your stress by 1.
Yes.
So you get that stress and you can't recover it.
Yeah.
But at least you got some damn coffee.
But you also did have a fairly productive day from the mental health standpoint, so that you should be starting at, and now
I am starting at 0, and now I have one stress from the coffee.
Also, Warren,
one stress.
Because you have your nicotine, caffeine. Also, you know this.
His goes down when he drinks it.
Well, the irony is also in
doesn't.
your stress, adding to your stress of getting Wescott out of bed, and you and your nicotine, caffeine fixation. It's early morning and you've been drinking. Guess what, my friend? You could put this formula together. I know you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, multiple trips to the bathroom before you even leave the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these aren't the short ones.
Multiple trips to the bathroom and resets on Wescott. Any progress?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Absolutely.
Just every time I leave the bathroom,
just like every one of my Sunday mornings. every time I feel like I got anywhere, like, all right, I managed to accomplish something this morning. Let me go have a cigarette. Nope. Oh, halfway through the cigarette, I need to use the bathroom.
Actually, I quit smoking like 3-4 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think you did mention something about that.
Yeah.
And congratulations on like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. And the less I think about it, the better, I guess.
Well, I will try not to linger too long on that topic.
I'm going to be chain smoking in game, and that'll be absolutely fine.
Okay. Well,
you'll just
as much as I enjoy my own vices, I recognize when others are trying to stop theirs. So
you'll smoke vicariously through Warren to give yourself some time to not smoke.
He gets his artificial nicotine because his player character uses nicotine.
Like, sometimes it feels good to watch somebody else smoke when I can't. So
kind of feels good because I know I'm managing cigarettes in a virtual sense, and it's like it kind of like it's got that thing to it. It's got a fixation.
Yeah, I see that. Pike, you are overabundantly aware of the time. There's something in your background that's just like, I need to know what time it is because I have somewhere to be at a certain time. Because you have a deadline of 12 o'clock on the tarmac, you know, and thus have planned everything backwards from that point in time. You know exactly what I'm talking about, military brain. You know exactly where this comes from.
Yep.
If I need to be there at noon, I need to leave here at this time. In order to be ready to leave at that time, I have to do this. In order to do that, I have to be awake at this time.
Yep. He's going to wake up a little early in case he can nab a joint shower before he goes.
Yeah, a joint shower. Did you account for shower and shower-related activities?
Yes.
Okay. God, the code is thick tonight. Ooh, I gotta be careful how I say that too.
But he'll be.
I see Rodance is like not quite side-eyeing the shit out of me right now.
I'm trying not to sit here and just cackle the entire time.
But he'll plan to be on the tarmac 20 minutes early.
Okay. All right. Is there anything anybody wants to do in the brief amount of time you do have between getting up, getting ready, all sorts of other various activities, and getting to the tarmac?
Otherwise, do I have any more problems to deal with her?
Let's assume this
trying to feed her cigarettes and coffee.
Yeah, let's assume this includes doing all that. So,
Okay.
if there's any additional things that you want to do,
I mean, if it was like not Space 80s, I would say, do I have any emails in my phone from the fact that I should be getting 2 new people on my team soon?
you
Oh.
have not yet received any of that information. Although there is the scuttlebutt or rumor control stating that there are new Marines being not indoctrinated, what's one of them for? Onboarded, I guess is the term we would use nowadays. That are, either they're being woken up on the Tambatam, or they're being, shipped up to the Tambatam. Something. I don't know. You spent
They're
close to
being
24. You spent 24 hours on vacation, and there's like a part of you that's like, I don't really care. They'll show up when they show up. At least
they're being
until I get back
ran
to
up
the
to
ship.
speed about doing atrocities later.
What's that?
They're being brought up to speed on the atrocities they're going to be expected to commit.
Hey, I know what I'm doing on it as our inflate activity. Is I'm gonna be sitting there snooping.
So I am going to plan to swing by on the way to the tarmac to buy a pack of cigarettes, a can of dip, a bottle of caffeine pills. And he's going to. It doesn't matter if he would have failed the role because I know you've met medics. He's going to say that he is just so stressed out he needs an extra 1 or 2 nap relief before getting back on board the Tambatan.
Are you looking for like over-the-counter version of nap relief?
He's looking to hit up the medics and just be like, "Oh man,
okay, gotcha."
So he can get like a 1 or 2 pills. He's not trying to get a bottle. He's trying to get 1 or 2 pills
I think
returning to duty.
I feel like somewhere along the way, it's not terribly difficult to convince somebody. Especially, I mean, you're also a bigger guy, so you catch the right guy that's kind of meek, spineless-ish. And yeah, he's like, yeah, here's 3. Please don't punch my face in, Staff Sergeant.
Just
some new boot.
Just put his hand on his shoulder. Private. And then just turns and walks away from him, leaving him questioning his life.
and I'm picturing some poor little PFC that's been in the Marine Corps just long enough to get here 4 days ago. It's just like, I don't know what I just did, but I am questioning every decision I've ever made.
It's like, is this a trap? Oh, fuck, is this a trap?
Yeah. Because the only other time he's been that close to another staff sergeant was probably his drill instructors.
Yeah. It's like 3 months ago, those stripes meant my ass was being ridden bloody. I don't have any idea what's going on right now. All right. Could you drop nap relief on my sheet?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Oops. Things we do to those fucking privates, man. I don't need roll it. I need items. Let's see.
Yeah, but the tarmac 20 minutes early. I'm not telling anybody I have this care package. I'm just like stuffing it in my cargo pockets.
Yeah. You get a little Ziploc bag of like, 3 pills or whatever. It's in your inactive.
That's even better. I just have a Ziploc bag of unmarked pills.
Come on, have you not met anybody in the medics?
I'm just saying this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted.
I too have. Listen, this may come as a surprise, but I too know medics.
Yeah, so I would actually we would probably I would at least hit the tarmac 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to be chewed out again.
Yeah. Yeah, unless there's anything else. Not much special. Your ship. Do they offer watery eggs? Listen, man. T-rat scrambled eggs. Oh my god. Nasty.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the brick.
Dehydrated eggs.
Yeah, dehydrated eggs. Yeah, the ones that you boil in a bag. Yeah.
Oh my god.
My weakness is
yeah,
pickled eggs.
that left the filmy taste in your mouth just now too, huh?
Yes.
It's so funny how such random ass words will leave certain sensations on your body.
Because it's a memory. It's a post-consumption traumatic memory.
It is. It absolutely is. Right up there with feeling like you just ate a handful of sand that tasted like eggs. For the T-rat eggs. Because it comes with this yellow brick. But the moment you scoop out a piece of this brick, it's like somehow dissolves. And you're just looking at it going, just like my hopes and dreams. You can't be any more accurate about what T-rat eggs feels like. I feel like I'm hitting all the nerves with this one. God damn, T-rat eggs, man.
I mean, Kane is crying, so I think you did.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, viewers, I am so sorry that this is what you have to endure right now. This is what happens when you have two combat veterans on the same stream having fucking shared military memories.
Thank you for that, Hashin. Thank you.
Oh god.
Also, fuck you.
The only thing worse, and I will leave it at this, the only thing worse was the 1980s era green eggs and, well, not green eggs, but eggs and ham MRE.
Ooh.
So we're all the tarmac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta catch my breath and get my eyes to stop running.
How obvious is it that Wescott is displeased to be a member of the living?
It might be obvious.
Well, I'm asking.
Yeah.
She's just sleep, like, she probably, like, the headache frown from being hungover and not wanting to be awake. Like the, like the little pinchy between the eyebrows. But she's there, dressed appropriately. Okay. She learned her lesson last time.
Yeah, so...
Oh, by the way,
yeah, go ahead.
I hand Pike 3 full servings of cold hash browns.
Nice. But ironically, no eggs.
Nah, it's like the breakfast. No. Let me take that back. It's like 3 huge portions of hash browns and like 2 omelets stacked in a box, and it barely fits. Going, you missed this yesterday.
Ooh, get that dig on him now while you still can, even though you're not all there today.
I mean, we ordered his amount of food, so
yeah,
I wasn't gonna throw it away. It's like a crime.
Does Warren give Pike shit for disregarding the bro code last night?
Oh, that's right, eh?
Yeah, I mean, there's an addendum to the bro code. It's called the military bro code, where usually bros before hoes, but if you are about to get laid, some exceptions can be applied.
But I don't know that he was doing the helicopter.
No, well, I guess you can deduce he's got a certain step, a certain kind of kick in his step today.
Pike looks very pleased with himself.
More so than his normal arrogance.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I think he's gonna let that go, considering he figures that something interesting happened last night that prevented him from watching anything about pasta sauce.
There might have been pizza at some point because it is Italian.
It probably was.
But definitely an awful lot of listen, a literal metric fuck ton of pasta, okay? And I mean literally at least 1,000 kilos or 1,000 grams. Wait, hold on. Yeah, 1,000 kilograms of pasta, which is something in the neighborhood of 2,200 pounds of pasta.
2250.
Yeah.
So yeah, he takes the box and he looks at it and there's zero shame. He just looks at it and goes, calories.
I open up the cargo pocket and I pull out the little plastic wrapped fork that went with it.
Oh,
just hand it to him.
You know exactly which one she got. It's the one with the plastic fork, the plastic spoon, the plastic knife, the napkin. No
and the salt and pepper.
No, you don't get that one. You ran out. That's the bro code way. Better yet, they opened it. They opened it, pulled the salt and pepper packet out, and then used they lit a match, waited for it to burn out, and used the heat that remained to seal it back up. That's some prison shit right there. Actually, I've never been to prison. I have no idea how true that is.
So he takes the little plastic bag, he sees that there's no salt and pepper, looks at Wescott, and just sort of like nods in acknowledgement. He gives the message received. No regrets, but message received.
You gotta watch those triglycerides.
There is an understanding being made right now by handing over that utensil packet.
So I think it makes sense that Wescott and Warren would have been, reminiscing and doing the Costa Nostra, whatever.
I'm sure you guys would have been conversing at various points.
Because Kane wasn't there originally in the garrison. He came in and he's like doing his thing, and then we were probably commiserating about the Winston and Watts.
Yeah. Was there more?
We're weirdly more relaxed today.
Okay. I felt like that was the opening to a paragraph or two about other things, but
no, it was the opening of like Kane's character Pike doesn't have to be there because it was like the
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so basically Warren's like, it would have been cool if Pike was here, but also this takes it back even more old school, like pre-Pike.
Yeah, when we were like a unit.
Yeah. Gotcha. You arrive back on the Tamatam. In the hangar bay waiting for you is Colonel Arnold and two brand new looking Marines. I believe one of them is super tall and jacked as fuck, and a female, if I'm not mistaken. These are new characters that I haven't quite met yet.
I think
just taller than average.
I think they're both built as fuck.
Okay, well, two somewhat mostly jacked Marines, one male, one female. One of them looks like he has, I believe it's the male that has an awful lot of affinity for the Lord Jesus Christ. And the woman that is just whatever. I have no idea. I don't know. Let's introduce PFC Woznicki and I believe PFC Wright.
Yes.
I can't tell. At first, I couldn't tell if she was laughing or yawning, and then I realized it was going longer than a laugh. So, please
Polzinski.
introduce. What is it?
Vol.
Yeah.
Zinski.
Oh, I didn't spell their name correctly in my notes. That's the problem. Yes. Actually, I did spell their name correctly, based on what the character's name is. And then PFC Wright, I need to make her avatar, but I'll do that the next time I prep. Yeah, please, introduce your characters. I believe, Wojcicki, I'm going to say it wrong every time, just like somebody else's name in a different game. PFC Wojcicki, whatever. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Or, more accurately, Pike, why don't you go meet your new people, because Colonel Arnold is standing there. In fact, I think he's standing there at something like parade rest, except having his hands behind his back, he has his arms folded over his chest, as if impatiently waiting. But, of course, as always, his face has absolutely no emotion on it.
Well, I'm going to go to him first.
Yeah. He doesn't have a whole lot to say. Go ahead.
I'm totally ignoring the existence of these two Marines, and like, he doesn't look at him, he doesn't acknowledge him, he just walks up to the colonel like these two don't exist.
He remains standing with his arms folded over his chest. He's in, his like full dress, not full dress uniform, but in uniform. And he kicks his head to one side, indicating the two privates. And he says, "They're yours. Keep your team whole." But the way he says it, it sounds like it's supposed to mean keep your team whole this time or next time. But he doesn't say that those last two words, whatever they may be. And then he just not quite does an about face, but something similar, and walks off to do whatever it is that full bird colonels do on a spaceship. Probably they go yell at a lieutenant colonel about why the bathroom smells like shit. I don't know. That's some military humor for the sake of military humor. Sorry, guys.
I assume we're both in attention, waiting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're.
Well, I meant they're locked up at parade rest. You know, because I'm sure at some point the colonel would have told them to at ease. But
I think so. Pike will look at the two of them, and then he'll look over at Wescott, and then you'll look back to the two of them and say, "Lock it up."
This one's on you guys. I got nothing.
Okay, so I guess Wescott would. I'm interpreting that right. That would be a Wescott steps forward and takes charge to support two new shiny Marines.
So he's looking at. So he told these two Marines to go to attention, and he's having Wescott come over to to talk.
They go to attention. Beyond this point, though, they're your characters. I'm not going to play them unless I need to for any particular reason.
I'm going to sit up straight for this.
It's like, I need to lean forward for this scene.
Yeah. So, Zachariah Volzinski is definitely at attention properly. He is very much the believer in law and order and religion.
What was the name of the faith or whatever?
Law, order, and religion.
Do me a favor and text that, or not text, but DM or in-game chat, just so I know the spelling.
Law, order, and religion.
Oh, law, order, and religion. Okay, so I thought I heard you mention something like, I don't know, the Leagues of Votan. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about.
No. Zachariah is a big believer in law, order, and religion, therefore he is standing at attention properly.
Gotcha.
In appropriate uniform.
He is the lawful good so much that he ends up becoming lawful evil. Got it.
You know, I'm pretty sure that the lawful spectrum is just a continuum between good and evil, and it just wraps back in on itself over and over again.
It does, yeah. Because you get so caught up in the idea of law and order.
There's very little difference between fanatic paladins and fanatic death knights.
Yeah. The only difference is that transition between one and the next. Also known
one
as
of them has better
neutral.
skull motifs on the armor. That's about it.
Yeah. So I think once Wescott comes over, Pike will look and say, "Tell me if you think they're satisfactory. Check them out." And he's gonna move to stand behind them.
Oh, you're gonna be that one. You're gonna be that guy whispering shit in their ear.
I think I'm going to have.
He's just a sergeant. Tell her to fuck herself.
Well,
you as a staff sergeant have absolutely no problem being able to do that. So... These privates are like, what the fuck is going on right now?
She would have them introduce themselves properly.
Okay.
And then she would escort them to our new troop bay, because whatever we're about to do, we're not doing in the middle of the flight deck.
Good answer. PFC Wright, what is going through your mind?
Just eeerness. Eagerness to do something good.
Your battle buddy here, PFC Wojnicki, I'm not going to get it right.
I already have a nickname planned.
Good. He seems to be a bit glorified, sanctimonious, stick up the ass. How does that make you feel as your sergeant says, "Follow me," or words to that effect, and takes you off towards the troop bay?
Well, would Wright have met the Waz to like any effect before this? Or
I think you would have had a chance, maybe while
they would have been on the same shuttle to the Tambatam.
Yeah, there would have been at least a chance for some sort of small talk, handshake, interaction in between being ferried from one point to another, stood in front of the colonel saying, "I'm going to assign you to this team," and then the colonel taking you guys down to the flight deck.
All right, so I feel like there's already some contention between
you would
considering
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, because they're both big and strong, right?
Waj, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Waj, yeah. Because Wright is probably like a neutral good, I guess.
I love how we're using D&D alignment to describe our characters. Meanwhile, Pike
But,
is like full on chaotic neutral right now because he's got a box full of eggs and hash browns. I'm sorry, I'm stealing from you. Go ahead.
Covered in tattoos, like just kind of like not miscreant, but definitely a Watts type of character that would have that they would have enjoyed.
Okay.
So I feel like they would have probably been like, hey, yeah, so what's going on? And then the Waj would have been like, I don't know about you.
Zachariah is very happy to be a Marine, and he is very fanatic about doing his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He loves doing things to the T and doing things properly. And in combat, he is perfectly happy to burn all the heretics.
That will include right at some point, I'm sure.
All right, cool. We're good.
Right's not a member of the commie scum, so he's probably good.
Gender's immaterial. I will burn them all.
She's walking the right path. She just hasn't made it all the way there yet.
Yeah, exactly. She's not commie scum.
Fucking Hashin just redeemed a 1,500 point redeemed name a thing. Next random NPC E4 equivalent. Last name is Wong, but it always gives right shit. And he redeemed points, so I kind of have to.
I've got to set up for this too. I know exactly how to make this happen, and I'm going to do it.
Okay. All right. You are in the troop bay. Pike, you have watched Wescott take these knucklenecks and bring them into the troop bay. Warren, obviously you've come along.
Things away.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, part of getting there would be them putting all their things away and stuff like that. Yeah. So they're all squared away properly.
So Pike is going to wait for, like, she tells him to put their stuff away. And then he's going to, like, while she's walking, he's going to walk towards her and wink. So they pass while she's going to go get something somewhere else in the locker space. And he's going to walk over, look at the two. Bag, drag, and inventory. And then just keep walking.
I loved how many like W's there was in that sentence.
So, for anybody that may not understand what just happened, Pike has basically said, "I've got this," to Wescott. Wescott has probably acknowledged, and then he said, "Dump all your shit."
We have paperwork to do.
Yeah, and then Pike tells the two new guys, or two new Marines, "Dump all your shit. We need to make sure you have everything you were supposed to have." Which can be a very ugly scene for a new private to endure. But also basically mandatory. Not for them, but for the leadership to do. I always hated doing it.
He's gonna motion for Warren to come over.
Oh, while this is happening, she's going to go pull their personnel records.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. She needs to not be here because the follow-up requires her and Pike to not be in the same place.
Yes.
All right.
So he's gonna wave over Warren and say, walk through it, put together everything they fucked up and didn't bring. And then he's going to also walk off.
Yeah. So basically, Warren, you've been told
to the office.
Warren, you basically are the one doing the inventory. You're gonna be like, all right, show me 6 pairs of socks each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Son of a bitch, you're missing socks. And you're gonna make a note of everything they're supposed to have that they don't.
I feel like Warren's gonna screw this up somehow and be wearing another set of weird things as a scarf.
He's gonna have sock earrings.
Just a couple hats.
He's got the one hat forward and the one hat backward. Because it's the only way to make it look balanced. That's all things should be.
God, it's reminding me of things. Oh.
You can tell who's been in the military and who's fucking people.
So I'm going to go meet Wescott in the office while Warren gets to have his moment where he gets to just tell them to pull random shit out and then just be like disappointed they didn't have a thing. So he'll meet Wescott in the office and
I'm sorry, I'm going to interject just for a quick second. Warren, I want to remind you, too, that you are a Lance Corporal.
Yeah.
Which, to these two privates, PFCs...
is a big deal.
Yeah, you are a junior non-commissioned officer, as far as they're concerned. Now, anybody above you, fuck off, you're a Lance Corporal, nobody gives a shit.
No, yeah.
but to these privates, you are the first in a long line of fuck you. Do what I say. Sorry, go ahead, Pike.
So he'll go to the office and Wescott, did you get their records yet?
Of course. Do you want them printed out, or is the data pad enough?
Ooh, do we have a data pad in the 2170s? I'm joking. Don't listen to me.
Dude, I
I'm
have the
joking.
closest iPad equivalent.
Yeah.
And I just pull it out of the desk drawer if nothing else, because it's got a little charger in there.
Yeah. No, you guys definitely have some sort of data pad type deal.
Oh, well, we need to not be in the same place right now, so I'll just sit down and read it here. But you should go tell them to unfuck themselves and put their shit away like you told them to.
Yeah. So I go back in.
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
As she turns to leave,
this...
he says, "Oh, make sure you're indignant about their flagrant disregard of your orders."
Now, I want you to remember, Wescott, before you go back into the Troop A, this is a day that you would much rather be in bed. Now, however that manifests...
You could really lean into how grouchy you are at being among the living.
And Warren, I'm just going to tell you, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, Warren, I want you to make a wits roll. No stress.
I was ready for that.
Yeah, just make a wits roll real quick for me, will you? If you pass, this means that you are able to quickly deduce what is... No. Unfortunately, you are just as out of the loop as these two PFCs as to what's going on between the two NCOs. So you're just kind of stuck playing along without realizing you're playing along.
Okay, I want to do one more rule.
Okay, add a stress before you push it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, go ahead. What were you saying?
I want to do one more rule, which is basically whether or not I'm going to be, like, trying to like, yell at them about their lack of gear, while also not empathetic about it.
Yeah, empathy. So yeah. So on success, you are or are not empathetic.
An empathy roll to decide how much you're going to pick on them.
Yeah, I'm going to just pick on them, I guess, about whatever information I don't know anything about.
So you're just finding random ass reasons to yell and cuss at them because that's all you know what NCOs do. The privates.
Yeah.
How did you get here without the ability to count to 6? 6 pairs of socks. Seriously? Come on.
Give me one quick second, guys.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be funny. This is gonna be a lot of fun messing with them, I think.
They got to prove that they can take it, because the missions are 1,000 times worse.
They are.
They really are.
Right,
so I walk in, and with the most deadpan expression, going, "Did you guys leave your ears back stateside? I told you to put your shit up."
Warren, just for the sake of argument, I'm sorry, Luke, for the sake of argument, if you could play the two young privates right now, I would appreciate that. Or at least your young private.
Oh, Zachariah is like, fuck. And then goes back to start packing shit up.
So, packing stuff up to put it in the locker, right?
Yeah, because I told them to put stuff away. Pike told them to pull it out and count it. I told them to put it away again.
Right, like does the crab grab and then just tries to grab everything on the ground at once.
Amazing terminology. I love it. I'm going to use that tomorrow now.
And just tries to get everything in her arms at once and then try to figure out how to get it into a locker.
I feel like she's got this barrel hold and she's trying to get it in the locker, but the locker's not quite wide enough for elbows and shoulders, so she's got to do this sideways thing, but even that doesn't work because she'll think it works and she'll start to drop it and like half her shit falls out, which then causes the other half to fall out on top of it.
You gotta do this.
Yeah, and then that doesn't work either.
Like, no. It's a good stretch though.
Yeah, so Lance Corporal Warren, would you please go grab 2 more hydrate packs? Our soldiers here need a couple for their locker.
I'm sorry, that's not the way I thought you were going. Please continue.
We're basically just like passing these two off on everyone else except for like anyone consistently, and it's hilarious. It's just
yeah. So I'm standing there watching them and having them put all their stuff away again, and then Warren comes, and then I very like, here's your hydrate pack. You will drink this when you come out of cryo sleep. It needs to be on the top of your things that you will immediately need when we are being called on mission. Next, here is your hydrate pack. Put it on the top of your things that we will.
No.
Oh no.
That's a horrible place to freeze. Oh my god.
No, we might be missing gold right now.
I know. This is what happens to us, by the way, Cade, when you drop on us the last couple times.
Oh.
I'm gonna get some coffee while we're
Yeah,
waiting.
this seems like a great coffee time. And I was too busy talking shit in Twitch chat to remember. Oh, there she is. Hey, so you froze. I couldn't even tell you exactly where because I was talking
second
shit.
Hydration pack. You were in the middle of your second hydration pack.
Here is your hydration pack. Put it on the top of your things that you will need when we are called on mission after coming out of cryo sleep. I go through the same spiel in deadpan with weird emphasis between the two of them over and over and over and over to make sure they do everything exactly how I want them to do it. And then we go for PT because I now get to run them around the deck.
You are sitting in the office reviewing their records. Nothing crazy in their records. Basically, almost exactly what you would expect based on what you've already seen and what you've already experienced previously in the military.
Is there any notable merits or demerits for either of them?
That's a question I am not prepared to answer. Players, is there anything that stands out about your characters, good or bad, that would be found in their personnel records?
Yeah, so Zachariah has a tendency to just be lucky as fuck.
So he might have a citation of some sort in there that wouldn't say anything about.
He doesn't have anything other than a review of like one of these times he was on a colony assault and just stood there shooting things instead of finding cover. He didn't get hit though. Question mark, question mark.
Yeah,
Gunner check out.
I think that would
literally just like the little side commentary of somebody going, "How did this guy not get hit? He was just standing there gunning the bad guys down."
I think that's something that you would find in the paperwork trail for the actual award. The award that you would probably see in his citation would have been like, gallantly stood in defiant of an assault by the enemy force, in which he then wiped them out using his M240 machine gun, or whatever, the M5 smart gun, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there's like a correspondence between some NCOs that are like, we need to put this decoration up.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, if you look hard enough, you'll see that trail. Like, this guy's an idiot, but he did kill 27 not Marines. UPP or whatever.
Enemy combatants.
Yeah, enemy combatants. We've got to recognize him. He was dumb as a box of rocks, just standing there. Also, let's not talk about the things he was saying. Jesus, God, this, and burning everybody with the light of God, this. Like, we don't need to talk about that. Just recognize.
The worst part is he was probably using the incinerator.
Yeah.
On people.
On people. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Wright?
Excelled in hand-to-hand, considering her position for as a breacher marine. Like got into a couple like civilian urban warfare moments that were pretty good for her career, I guess.
Okay. Probably some citations in there for higher than average levels of, well, I don't know what the Air Force called it. I know in the Marine or in the Army we had combatives levels 1 through 3. I imagine the Marine Corps would use something similar, even in Space 80s.
Okay.
So she's got higher than average higher than the average level of completion.
But a little tough on people when it comes to like taking them down, I guess, for like non-lethal.
Unnecessary roughness.
unnecessary roughness, but mostly because of strength involvement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's reading this and he picks up the phone in the little office and he's calling down to supply to speak to Corporal Wong.
You get now. I don't know if you get a Corporal Wong on the other side of the phone, and he sounds like he's straight out of Southern California. What up, Staff Sergeant? What I can do for you? I don't know if I'm pulling this off. Let's just pretend in the space 80s future that this is what people in Southern California sound like. He does not have an Asian accent whatsoever. Not even a little bit. But he's got an Asian last name.
I have a proposition for you, Corporal.
And what would that be, Staff Sergeant? He sounds like he's got a cigar hanging out of one side of his mouth, in fact.
In exchange for 2 RPG warheads, I can give you 12 hours of labor that'll do anything and everything you don't want to do.
Well, shit. I think I can make that work. What are you talking?
2 Marines, all yours. 12 hours.
Is that 12 hours, 6 hours each, or 12 hours for both?
12 hours each.
If you can't tell, he's already calculating the man hours on this.
Yeah, 12 hours each.
So 24 man
12 hours of actual labor. So if you send them back early, you can cash in on the rest.
Oh, so this is not just a one-time. I have 24 hours. I have 24 man hours to do whatever I want with them. I mean, have whatever I need moved.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just,
there's a whole bunch of munitions that need to be repositioned in the ship.
And yeah, I'm sure it will suck exactly the way I want it.
Yeah. You know what doesn't suck? Not having to do it myself. Whenever you're ready, there are 1,200 pounds of small arms ammunition that need to be repositioned, and they're not in big, large crates, unfortunately for them.
Amen, Corporal. They'll be down when they're good and ready for you.
Outstanding. I appreciate your support, Staff Sergeant. You're an awesome guy.
I'll hang up.
So
I'm going to walk out and wait for the P. So are they in the troop bay when you're PTing them? Or are you taking them out of the troop bay?
We're doing the boring, stretchy, just in place stuff in the troop bay.
Oh, you're doing the warm-up stretches.
Mm-hmm. I'm making sure they go through every step as I'm standing there, seriously eyeing another cup of coffee.
I think from the office, like Pike will slide the door open and lean over. Sergeant Wescott. And then
yes, Staff Sergeant Pike. I start heading that way.
Warren, now's your chance to shine. Show them the bend and reach. God, that goes so good when we were talking about mandatory fun day at the very beginning.
Yeah, so I walk over to Pike.
He'll close the closet door when she gets in.
I was waiting for the closet reference to this little ass office.
We both look pretty unremarkable. Have you already read these?
Skin the best. I was pulling them for you.
You should take a couple minutes and read them through.
Okay.
I'll be back in a couple. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay. I sit down and actually start going through them properly.
Do you grab a cup of coffee before you do so?
No.
You
he caught me before I could get it.
Yeah, I mean,
I was eyeing it, but I didn't have a chance because I came over when he called me.
Okay. And it is a small office. It might be too small to have a coffee machine in here, which seems sacrilegious, by the way.
When there is one right outside, it most definitely is.
Yeah.
So he's going to open the closet door, step out, close the closet door, walk over, see that everything's been put back in the lockers. He's going to walk over.
Not only are they put back in the back of the lockers, they're all seated on the floor, stretching as if they have gone and done something strenuous.
They're actually getting ready for the PT because we haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
Pike just calmly walks over to the lockers, He opens he'll open Wright's locker. Take a very he does the lean and exaggerated look. And then he just starts grabbing shit and throwing it across the troop bay.
Man, that's bringing back some memories.
And he just starts screaming, "What in the actual fuck is this? How do you know? Warren, do you have a full accounting of their back drag?"
Give me a second on that one.
I mean,
it gives me just enough time to open up the second locker and dump all of their shit while he's looking through his notes. I just imagine Warren is sitting there with that one little notebook that every soldier's supposed to have, right? He's just flipping through it. He's like, no, I think I'm missing some stuff here. Wow, that was an entire backpack.
It's just like a chest plate goes flying across the room.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, these two privates are probably just sitting there going, I'm questioning all of my decisions in life to this point. Even the most devout one.
But as he swings the second locker door open and reaches in, he looks over at Warren and says, "Well, did they finish?" Knowing that we timed this, that there was no way to finish this in time.
I believe there kept being intrusions and interruptions. Now we're stretching. I'm not sure why.
How unfortunate. It would have been glorious if Warren had made that roll, because then he could have done how unfortunate. There have been so many interruptions and just deadpan the shit out of that just to restart this process.
So he's gonna finish dumping the other locker, and he's gonna look at the two of them and attention. And he's gonna walk right up to Zachariah and just sort of give an exaggerated up down, look at the name tape and say, "So Wally, what the fuck is the malfunction here?"
He said fucking Wally. Oh my God.
I think it'll be the staff sergeant. We'll get right on this, staff sergeant.
Oh no, you're gonna. But I need to know what the fuck your malfunction is. Are you deaf or are you retarded?
Staff sergeant, I think I might not have heard the orders properly, staff sergeant. Going with the I am dumb excuse.
Your explanation is that you're fucking deaf.
He only has 2 wits. He can play dumb.
Did you pass your hearing test for this expeditionary force?
Yes, staff sergeant.
Get down and change the course of the fucking ship. And he steps over to the other one.
So he starts doing push-ups.
I'm sorry. Hold on, I need a second. That was probably the best fucking line ever in this game. Get down and change the course of this ship.
Yep.
That's good.
That was a good one, man. That was really fucking good. Holy shit. Oh, man. Sorry. Please continue. I really wanted to illustrate that line one more time.
He steps to the side to get in Wright's face. Your try. Are you deaf or retarded?
Staff Sergeant, I am not deaf. Staff Sergeant, Pike.
So are you retarded?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. Staff Sergeant Pike.
Would Congress say that your presence here is a crime against the dumb?
I would certainly hope not. Staff Sergeant Pike.
I'm giving you a chance here. One chance to explain what the fuck happened here. Don't fuck it up.
Takes a deep breath. We were advised to take our bags, put them on the ground, count everything we have. Then we were advised to put it in the lockers, and then we were advised PT was coming.
Who advised you to put your shit back in your locker?
She looks puzzled at herself as she's not quite sure who it was at this point.
It was Wescott.
She might not remember Wescott's name.
No,
I'm picturing, by the way, that Wescott, Pike, and Warren are in civilian clothes. So unless somebody has identified these individuals by
we showed
name,
up at the tarmac in uniform. We're returning to.
Okay, yeah. No, you're right.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you would be in uniform.
Doesn't mean they'd remember.
No,
this is
but
true,
at
too.
the very
this
least,
point,
they should
I
remember
just wanna-
your rank, even if they don't remember your name.
Yeah.
I want to stress that she's not quite sure which one of the three advised any of these things anymore.
She's questioning reality at this point.
Just used to following orders, I guess, is her mumbly answer.
Speak up. Use your big girl words.
Used to following orders, Staff Sergeant Pike.
Are you? Are you sure? Because this staff sergeant told you to do your full fucking bag drag so that I could get you your binkies and blankets you fucking forgot. And instead, it's all back in your lockers, and you can't tell me how or why you followed an order to put that shit in there. Did you give yourself that order, Private?
I don't believe so, Staff Sergeant Pike.
You have 30 seconds. Answer that question. 30 seconds to get that answer and come back here.
Let me see here. What do I do with this? Aha, she remembers.
Nice.
She pulls a name straight from the ass end of nowhere and hits big.
It's
Fine. It's an awful
I
lot
feel
of
a
one
little
and
bit
two
of,
wits around here.
I feel a little bit of vindication by almost making somebody else spit their drink out.
Okay, what were we? We were saying
You owe
had
somebody a
30
name.
You had
I
30
know, yeah.
seconds to come up with who told you to put your shit back in your locker.
Fairly confident it was Sergeant Wescott.
Sergeant Wescott?
I actually don't know her rank.
Wescott!
Then that's me saying that.
He leans back. Wescott!
I set my things. Wescott sets the things, the tablet back on the desk. She gets up. She opens the closet, opens the door, sticks her head out. Yes, Staff Sergeant Pike.
There's a little bit of confusion here. A bit of an education that is required. I need your presence.
Yes,
God.
Staff Sergeant. And I walk over.
Now,
Wescott is being exaggeratedly loud as we're talking back and forth like this.
Private.
You gotta do it in
We're
such a
gonna
way
play.
that you gotta do it in such a way that you're like you have to act like you're being bothered every time Pike yells for you.
Yes.
Yes, Staff Sergeant. How can I help you today, Staff Sergeant?
All right. We're gonna preschool this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Also,
you count the
military
number of
phrase.
fingers you have on one fucking hand?
I hate where this is going. Out of character.
Out of character, my answer. I've got two answers. One says yes, and the other says yes twice.
Yeah.
I have
So,
5 fingers on one hand, but I can count 10 fingers on my hand twice.
Yes, I can count my fingers, Staff Sergeant Pike.
Excellent. Now, come here. And he's being very, aggressive, exaggerated about it. And he's trying to bring Wright's head all the way down to Wescott's arm.
Yeah. A good foot below their eye level, at
Yeah.
least.
Now, I want you
she's
to
only-
count. I want you to count how many stripes there are on her sleeve. You can do that, can't you?
Oh, God. I'm having I'm gonna have flashbacks tonight.
All right. Should I do an observation roll or something? Because I
You
actually don't know what her rank is.
You could.
Yeah.
She has 3
Wescott is a
stripes.
sergeant,
She has
and you
3
definitely
stripes,
see
okay.
3 stripes.
Okay.
4
All right.
lights.
So I'm.
Yeah.
I see what happened here. Okay.
It's a great episode.
Now, how many stripes are there?
You said 3, right?
Yes.
She's got 3
Okay.
stripes.
Yeah. Okay. 3. Staff Sergeant Pike.
Excellent. Now stand up. And he
Straightens
turns
out.
to the side. Now, let's play another counting game. And he gestures to his own rank.
Which is also 3 stripes in a rocker,
Yeah.
which means he
According
outranks
to
her.
this.
He's being,
Yeah.
I mean, he's being really shitty about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Super. Even in the 80s, this might have started. No, in the 80s, this would have been normal.
Yeah, this is facetious at best.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that means
Zach,
3 stripe.
Well, Wally is still pushing behind you.
Yeah. Probably not even broken a sweat yet either.
So probably
So
not.
3 stripes and a rocker.
So if you add that together, what's your magic number?
I want to say 4, but I don't know how ranks work.
You could just respond with Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant.
Excellent. Excellent. So you didn't completely forget about basic training. You just forgot how to take orders. Are you a bad Marine?
No, Staff Sergeant Pike.
Do you endeavor to be a good Marine?
Yes, Staff Sergeant Pike.
Then follow my goddamn orders and finish your fucking inventory.
I think
Now it's going to be one of you at a time. You're going to continue to push until Wright finishes on fucking her inventory. And then congratulations, you get to help your battle buddy out and continue that course correction while he goes through his stuff after you.
It's about this point where Lieutenant Eckhart comes through the troop bay. And, okay, she's a lieutenant, so a certain amount of leeway is allowed for her uniform and appearance, but not a lot. She's wearing everything mostly properly. It's obvious she's still a little bit hungover, but she's playing it off for anybody that gets close enough. And she says, "That was hilarious. Try not to work them too hard. Dinner time is in about a half hour." And then she just leaves the troop bay. And by the way, she says this like sotto voce to Pike, where maybe Warren and Wescott might have heard, but definitely was not trying to outright undermine any authority with the 2 new boots. She knows better than that.
He says it in like he'll turn and take a step to the side and in like a similar mode say, "Aye, Lieutenant."
And she just chuckles as she walks off. But she also, just for you, very subtle, because it can't be obvious, but there's an extra subtle shake in that ass as she walks away.
And yeah, Pike he plans to stand there for the rest of this inspection. And for anything that's missing, we'll get its own ass chewing.
Of course, that's exactly. How dare you show up out here on humanity's frontier with 3 canteens? You're only supposed to have 2, and why do you have 1? Because nowhere in the military.
He's going to establish at some point during his like ranting and raving that he has decided that that Wally looks like a cartoon character to him. Congratulations, you get a cartoon character fucking name, Wally.
I love the idea of one of them having 1 canteen too many and the other one having 1 less than what they're supposed to have. But because it's the military, nobody will sit there and realize it should be 2 and 2. Obviously, there was a mistake made when things were thrown across the troop bay. But no. Why do you have 3? You stole 1. Why do you have 1? You can't keep security of your own shit?
As he literally chucks their stuff across
the
floor.
Exactly. How do you not maintain personal property accountability?
You got to go back to like inventory with the 3 of them, return one of them, and then the other one has to go back to inventory and then request another one and sign some forms.
It just just for the fun of it, because these both look like they're stacked people. Whichever one is pushing at the time, Wescott's going to sit on their back. You can just sit there and like look at your pad while they're pushing and doing this inventory. That Pike is dragging out with all of his unnecessary shouting and time wasting.
Yeah.
It is dinner time.
That's
We
It
get
is,
to
of
dinner.
course, it is the same old bullshit spaghetti. And what did I call it? Oh, what did I write in here?
Fine spaghetti
It
bolognese.
is the same bullshit spaghetti and lame cornbread for dinner. But it is the final dinner before shipping out, because the rumor is something is about to happen.
So,
wait,
did we finish the bag drag before dinner?
Yeah. If there was,
Okay.
listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the final answer is if one had too many and the other was missing, it was absolutely because you threw their shit at least 2 or 3 times.
But it's still
however
their
you want
fault
to
for
handle it
fucking
from
up.
that point forward is entirely up to you. But beyond that, they're not really missing anything, except maybe something inconsequential like a pair of socks that you will find 3 weeks later when you arrive at your next destination because it rolled out from under a bench or something.
Yeah.
Not thrown too far.
Yeah.
So we
spar with them after dinner?
So we go to dinner, and Pike says, Pike makes sure that they know that they're getting in the back of the line for picking up food, and
They
says,
are the last.
in 10 minutes, you report to Corporal Wong down in supply. Don't be fucking late, as he's choosing which of the identical cornbread bricks he wants.
So my question then is, are you going to have the 2 new boots available for the post-dinner open invitation brawl? Or are they going to be busy and not available?
I mean, that depends on Wong, really. I've asked Wong to work them, but I also am not expecting Wong to work extra hours.
No.
So
yeah,
in fact,
Wong
is like 3 people behind you in the dinner line, and when you actually, and yeah, because I'm a smart ass. He's like 3 people behind you and your team in dinner line, and he does one of these, like, reaches around, like, looking around the people between you. He's like, Staff Sergeant, we're closed. Send them first thing in the morning or maybe after the mission. We can always get that ammo moved at any time.
We might be having some combative practice then.
The 2 of you should thank the mercy of the corporal.
And he literally does this. He's like waving. That's me. I'm your god now.
So he turns to the 2 of them expectantly, like, I told you to thank your merciful corporal god.
Zachariah says, thank you, merciful corporate god. And then he reads the nameplate. Corporal Wong.
By the way, if you've never met anybody in the logistics network that did not have a god complex, you did not meet somebody from the logistics network.
And there you go, Ashen. I have set up Corporal Wong to exist to fuck with right.
The things we do to please our viewers. All right. From the 3 players, I need our infamous 1D something roll, of which the results will be averaged, so I can determine which of the following missions are randomly selected. So, in this case, it will be a 1D2 roll from each of the 3 of you. All right, that's a 2. That's a 1. Total of 3. That bad boy came spinning out. And that is
mission 2.
That is a 5, yeah. Please, at this point, go ahead and do whatever combative stuff you're going to do, unless there's a conversation you wanted to have during dinner itself.
Not really. Pike's not doing like a you eat over there type thing. It's definitely like we're eating together.
Yeah.
And for the duration of eating, Pike is super chill.
Which
that's
That's
like he's done the full personality swap, and he's like,
cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wescott's sitting there yawning as she eats. It's her version of, she's just sleepy today.
Yeah.
So
Warren is
two of
jonesing
you,
for a cigarette.
So the two of you,
it's space
Earth or
80s. You could
colonies?
eat, or you could smoke right at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Oh, but like he's excessively wanting more cigarettes.
Oh, are you saying you're about to start chain smoking, not just smoking?
He's trying really hard to pace himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's just the two of you, Earth or colonies?
I'm always not prepared for that question.
Earth.
If you
Staff
want, you
Sergeant
could just
Pike.
roll randomly, like.
All right, colonies. Colonies.
You may or may not hear my son in the background, who's currently playing with the cat while he waits for water to get hot.
Yeah, colonies.
Yeah.
I'm colony myself.
Oh, really? Yeah, I grew up on one of the less stable colonies out in the, I guess, Rim.
There is an American Frontier Rim.
Yeah, okay.
I'm misnaming the shit out of it at the moment, but yeah, there is a Rim.
Out on the frontier, then. You fancy yourself a space cowboy?
No, but you gotta make sure you can defend yourself out there that far.
You grew up with some violence, then?
Yeah, a little bit of instability, but you rise above it.
I expected some commentary on the number of brothers she had.
No. Very, very close knit on her family. Let's see here. So she like lifts her arm thing, and there was like a colony tattoo, and then you notice like more tattoos are along it, but it's like this is where I was from. This is the unit that I was when I first started in the Marines.
So do you do tattoos aesthetically, or are you a meanings tattoo kind of person?
Every one of them functional, and you notice they're like creeping up to like her neck and everything, so it's like, holy shit.
So you've got what? You wear your life story?
Yeah, I mean, why else would you do anything if you couldn't leave like a corpse full of writing?
Pike just sort of like
I am a roll of papyrus. Please write on me.
Pike slow nods and just looks to the other two like, good answer.
Here's a marker. Please scribble on me my life's details. When I die, I want people to scratch their heads.
So your body is a temple with a very good set of records. I can get behind that.
The Adeptus Administratum would like to know your location.
Yep. So I think Wescott will say, well, when's the last time you guys had combative training?
Ooh, going for that transition a little early. I like it.
Look, I looked at what time it is on the clock, and
no, it's totally fine by me. I just didn't know if there was going to be anything else for dinner. I'm letting you guys more or less take the pace here.
I mean, unless Pike has more socially questions.
No, he's totally down for you just tossing the segue right in.
Yeah.
All right. The other people at the table near you, or tables near you, hear the question. They know the drill by now. Like it's
they're very excited and
there's like
taking bets.
Suddenly the tone of conversations totally changes. There's a sudden uptick in positivity, some shit talking, some wild laughter, and an awful lot of numbers being expressed. And there are quite a few voicing interest and curiosity over the two, what otherwise could be considered mini Pikes. Not Wescott, by the way. They're obviously referring to the new boots who have yet to prove themselves, and some people that are like, I don't know. I think she could make him into a pretzel. I don't know. I think she's going to turn him into a tool. So there's definitely some back and forth about who could do what. And mind you, this is not loud, boisterous commentary. This is like not quite hushed tones, but it's definitely like you can definitely hear it if you take a second and listen. So I think the moment somebody stands up from your group, there's almost a wave of human bodies standing up and starting to push shit away. Dishes are cleared from the tables. Tables are shoved aside. The floor mats are brought out. Like, people are ready. There's a couple of people. One of them might be a staff sergeant. One of them might be a gunnery sergeant. They might both be gunnery sergeants. It's not really sure because they're standing intentionally blocking their rank, but they're holding notebooks and pens, and they're quickly writing names. And there's a corporal nearby who's just taking the money in to hold on to it, to disperse it to whoever wins after the fight. So please, at this point, it's your show. Fight whoever's going to fight, and then we'll move into outro.
Wescott is going, I guess it's time for some combatives training.
Oh, yeah. People are stoked at this point.
I look around at everyone else going, we're not going to have Pike beat on them the first time out. That would just be cruel.
It's a great initiation. I think you actually hear somebody say that because they heard you say that, and they're like, no, hell no. Break him in good. You got somebody in the background, beat that ass. Beat that. But then nobody else takes up the chant.
I look and I point at that person in particular. You sure you want to say that?
No, as soon as he realizes that nobody else is taking up the chant, he shuts up.
Oh, I pointed at the person who said that.
Yeah, he's already disappeared. Yeah. He's attempting to disappear into the crowd. You can follow him, probably.
I very carefully go take the top off and set it down and go it.
Pike will pull a challenge coin out of his pocket, and he'll flip it in the air like a quarter, like he's doing heads tails with it.
Yeah,
and he'll catch it, slap it on the back of his hand. Congratulations, Wally. First blood.
I feel like you didn't even matter whether it was heads or tails. I feel like you were going to put Wally in the fight first, no matter what.
He didn't say what he called.
Yeah.
So Wescott and Wally walk into the mat first.
All right. I believe you're going to be making both of these rolls.
Now you can beat yourself up. Congratulations.
Yeah. At your leisure, please. It doesn't matter to me who rolls first. I'm not going to worry about initiative. This is obviously for shits and giggles for the characters.
Let's go with my... So, we're just going to go back and forth. Wescott will start.
That is one success. Would you like to push it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get away with pushing it to this time.
Okay. That is a 2 successes. I think you're going to be okay on the stress roll, or panic roll, but you do need to make a panic roll. Yeah, you're fine. All right.
Cool.
What does the
try to block?
Yeah. Let's go Wajniki. He blocks really well. He's
His turn.
Yeah, he's negated your successes completely. And fails in his counter throw, punch, whatever.
I'm pretty sure even if I attempted to block that, it's... So, Kane, if I block it and I beat them in dice, is there a specific trait that lets you do damage in return?
No.
Or is that...
If you roll to block, because you can only block so many times, if the blocker has extra successes left over, then that is the return on attacker. But if it exactly equals, then nobody did anything.
Well, hold on, before you roll that, Wally has a chance to push. Has the legal right to push, so.
Legal right? Are you as a lawyer now?
I didn't know what else to call it. You know I'm right, though.
Okay, that's not the way it's supposed to calculate. So he only has 1 success. Because I'm rolling both of them, it's adding them up when they're not supposed to be.
Okay, so he has 1 success, and so far Wescott has 3.
Yeah, so he's going to take 2...
He keeps it together.
2 damage, or... No, so you blocked with 3 successes against his 1 total success.
So that's 3 damage.
Okay, yeah,
yes.
3 damage.
If you
I forgot
put it all
the
into
base
damage, it'll be 3 damage.
Or you could lock him up into some sort of hold or throw him or some
Yeah,
shit. I'm sure.
I 2 damage and then chuck him on the other side of the ring.
Okay. I believe for role-playing purposes, that is the extent of the fight.
I basically threw him out of the ring
Yeah.
because he fucked up.
Yeah, and you
I'm
win.
not trying to injure them.
Yeah. And
He's a little bruised.
everybody's like, "Oh shit, look at that. Little Sergeant threw the big guy." You know, something like Hulk Hogan when he body slammed King Kong Bundy, but some of you are probably not old enough to remember that.
Yeah, because Zach
Pike
Riot is 6 foot long, hair just long enough to slick back, no tattoos, for they would damage the temple of his body, and he looks like he could easily win a strong arm competition.
Yeah.
I just chucked him out of the ring.
Yep.
So Pike is sitting on a table and looks at Wally, where he's been like thrown against the table, and says, "Well, what now, Wally?"
Wally gives him the I don't know, Staff Sergeant.
I think
Wait. Are you wearing your shirt?
Yeah, he's not fighting. He's still got a stop on.
Okay, so yes, then he would actually say Staff Sergeant. He goes and just grabs some water and sits down, going, "That was a new experience."
So he grabs the water, it sits down, and Pike goes, "Ah, a quitter we are."
Ooh. I think there are a couple of people in the background very close by that heard that, and they're like, "Ooh."
Right?
An absolutely true thing that would happen in the military, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just, all right, right. You're going to defend the honor of the boots?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's go right. Let's go right. So there's a couple of people that are actually chanting that. Let's go right. Let's go right. Show him how it's done.
Is Wong gonna
it's only no. Wong is laughing his ass off as he continues to spoon more spaghetti into his face.
All right, so who's my opponent?
Wescott.
Right gets up. Oh, it's Wescott. Okay.
Wescott doesn't leave. She just waves you over.
Wescott is currently the queen of the ring.
Okay. Give me
you
one
may
second.
call her your grace.
All right.
I thought it was funny.
Okay. Let's see here. So, Wright's gonna go up to Wescott about like a 3 to 5 feet away and square up, and was actually gonna let Wescott go first.
Oh.
Like a little bit of a.
Wescott just shrugs.
God damn that panic roll.
No joke, right?
This might be about to suck. Go ahead. Roll your block.
Well, she's got to roll the panic first, so.
Oh.
Although I'm sure it won't, I'm sure she's not going to have a breakdown or anything.
Takes the 2 damage.
Yeah.
You just take the 2 damage?
I take it right in the chin, yep.
Oh, you eat it? Okay.
What is your... This is going.
Yeah.
Wescott waits.
Okay, yeah. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah. What do you do?
Wescott just raises an eyebrow and does the little hand gesture.
I feel like there's a brief moment of where Wescott was like, I didn't expect that to actually, I expected some sort of response. And Wright is just like, all right, my turn.
All right, well, let's see what the dice roll. Oh.
Now,
that's 2 successes.
Before you finish here, because you didn't use your fast action, you can use it to aim.
Ooh.
So instead of blocking, you can get more dice.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I already did it, so.
But you could just roll 2d6 and see what you get.
No, pushing. Ooh.
Fuck. 3 successes, but roll that.
Roll
that panic.
Okay.
All right. 3 successes.
So is that 3 successes? Yeah.
That sounds like 6 damage, but she's blocking. So it's gonna be 5 damage. Kane, double check my math on that. I may have fucked that up.
3 successes is 4 damage. 1 success is canceled, so it's down to 3 damage.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how to math. Don't listen to me. Wescott, you get rocked.
Ow.
Yeah,
she's still standing though.
No, yeah, you're still standing, which is cool. But wow, this private fucking hits like a Mack truck, or the Space 80s version of the Mack truck.
Wescott just grins. Like, the first time she's not been sleepy and, like, vaguely sarcastic the entire day.
It's just
And
like,
she just
game on,
rolls back
bitch.
around.
Ooh, 3 successes. What are you doing there, right?
I'm gonna have to block.
Okay, before you... Alright, you're good there. Wescott, did you want to push the... Oh, no, never
I
mind.
already did push. I have 4 successes.
Never mind. Don't. I'm stupid.
So refresh me on this because it's been a week. So I do a close combat to block, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You take...
Well, I'll have the opportunity to push.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's 2 successes. So that takes the damage from 4 to 2. Unless I'm screwing it up again.
3.
God damn
3
it.
damage.
One of these days
Okay.
I'll get it right.
Okay.
So you're sitting at 5 damage. What did you have? Like 6 health?
7.
7? Okay. How you feeling over there,
Actually,
right?
so for this one, I have 2 successes left.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I will do the same thing I did with
Okay. Yeah. You're gonna...
Wally.
So 2 damage and a pushback.
Yeah, basically I have 2 damage and toss her out of the ring too.
Oh shit. Okay. Wescott is holding it down. Having eliminated 2... I mean, they're 2 new boots, so there's like...
I'm purposefully not pounding them into the ground
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Pike does to me on the regular.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to make a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I call on and then I look over and go,
So Right
I think
gets
I'm done
tossed.
for now.
Right gets tossed, and Pike asks the same question. Like, what now, right?
I mean, she's a superior for a reason, I guess.
What are you gonna do now?
If I'm out of the ring, am I disqualified?
No.
I think our fight's done, but it doesn't mean you can't work on anybody else.
That's a good point.
Wescott sits down without putting her top back on, but does grab some water. And then probably another chunk of cornbread.
Right now, there's an elemental somewhere. One desperately to get into this action. I knew that joke would work because all 3 of you play BattleTech in some fashion. So
yeah. So
your elemental right now is encouraging more blood.
So. Yeah, I know, right?
I look at Pike and go, they at least remember basic.
I feel like right? I feel like you're seething when you hear that because you're like, motherfucker, I did more basic combat training than that. But yet you're also like, but that really kind of stung a bit. I'm a little surprised that she was able to just throw my ass out of the ring like that.
Yeah, Pike.
Yeah, I gotta say,
Pike
Wescott
seems to be
is
totally
a good fighter.
ignoring Wescott.
Pike is ignoring Wescott? Is that what I heard?
Yep, he's just zoned in on right. It's like, what are you gonna do?
I have an idea.
Okay. What's your idea?
All right. Stun batons. Cattle prods.
You have elected the challenge augmented. Sorry, don't listen to me make BattleTech references in this game.
Yeah, so I feel like I feel like the stamina would be a thing that Wright would like get the advantage on. But I don't know if Wescott would still trounce Wright on this or not.
Pike's asked, what are you going to do about getting shoved out? And you asked, did you lose because you were kicked out? And he said, no, you have not lost. And you just witnessed him call out Wally for being a quitter.
All right, fine. I'll get up again. One more round. What do you say, Wescott?
I actually just look at Pike and raise an eyebrow.
So your top is off, so he doesn't get angry about him calling you Wescott. He just looks at Wescott and says, this one's not a quitter. This one's going to fight to the end. Do him the honor.
Wescott sets her chunk of cornbread and glass of water down and gets back up.
Now that we have similar health, Should we run for initiative and everything?
Entirely up
Yeah,
to you guys.
probably. So,
Yeah, okay.
what is it?
If you want
Agility?
to, I'm sure there's a rule for it. If you want, you could just roll 1d6 apiece. It's up to you how you want to.
I think it's 1d6 plus the agility modifier.
No,
That's
it's playing
1d10
cards.
actually.
1d10.
Initiative, and this is playing cards.
Yeah.
Let's just roll 1d10 then.
That's a 3 for Wescott. And an 8 for the newcomer, right? Or
Cool.
Warren, according to the log, but we know we knew it was supposed to be right.
Yeah.
So now that we're doing like strict initiative, you need to know, as the person who goes first, that if you wish to block, you have to save your fast action.
Yeah. But my slow action is still an attack, right?
Your slow action is still to try to punch her in the face.
Yeah.
So you can either aim or you can save it to block.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to save this to block. So go ahead, Scott.
Well,
You won initiative. You go first.
No, I got
attack
an 8.
first.
You got the 3.
It does go, yeah, it does go one.
It's low. It's
low to high.
H2-3. So.
Oh.
Go right ahead.
I forgot about that in this system.
It's yeah. Ooh, no successes. Obviously, you're gonna push that, right?
Ooh, look at that stress.
Yeah. There's a panic roll in there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You now have a -2 agility modifier until the panic stops.
You're probably going to stop using flyweight then, because it went from 1 more to your dodge to -1 to your dodge.
Yep.
Okay, so now I guess I block.
If you'd like to.
Against 2 successes. Reducing it 1. So that's...
Okay, we're going to be good with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Base
So
damage.
Punch them once. Base damage.
Okay.
So
Okay.
2 damage.
And then right, returning... Or excuse me, right's turn here.
Yep.
We're going for subdue.
Ooh.
So try not to murder Wescott, but definitely trying for the grapple and subdue them down.
That is a lot of successes, but there is the panic dice in there.
Yep. Nice.
Cool. So this is my block.
Yeah.
That reduces it, but there's still the 1 success and additional.
So as soon as there's 1 success,
What happens if you still have a success?
if I still have 1 success, any additional successes do not do any effect. But instead, if I have 1 success, I don't inflict any damage. Instead, I hold my opponent in a grapple.
Cool. How many successes do you have total?
2, I believe. I think that's right.
Because
Because you had 4 minus the 2 for your block. So he's sitting on 2 successes.
Down to 2. Basically, it gives him 2 bonus dice to non-lethal.
I was debating if I wanted to push that.
Oh.
Ouch.
You got... Oh, I didn't even think about the push. So that's 6, but you got to make that panic roll on top of... Now you're at 9. I'm not gonna... Is that... 9 is when you drop something, right? Yeah.
I literally don't have anything to drop.
Yeah, you don't drop anything.
But your stress goes up again.
Yeah, so instead of dropping something, though, because I think it's funny, somewhere along the way, people are getting bounced around, like trying to watch the action. Somebody knocks over your water onto your cornbread. It's now a soggy cornmeal mess.
No.
Yeah.
It's turning into corn soup.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's corn mush.
Sadness. My poor cornbread.
Yeah. And worse, when you're done fighting, whenever you're done fighting and you go to get another piece of cornbread, there's no more cornbread left.
So, that leaves me with 3 damage then, because I beat her by 2 successes, so 3 damage.
Yep. And that should knock out right, because that's...
It does.
Yep. Wescott somehow manages to pull all of this around, losing some cornbread.
I catch them as they fall and lay her on the ground.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else?
Like
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I very carefully like set her on the ground to go.
And then drag her off the mat so she's not in the way of the next people that might fight. Or is that?
I point at Wally and have Wally drag her because.
Oh yeah, because he quit.
Body weight is a thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she is 175 pounds.
Jesus. It's all muscle too, I'm sure.
5'10", 175 pounds. Pretty solid person.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of muscle mass.
Yep. Is anybody else getting into this makeshift ring? The crowd is looking. They want to know if there's going to be more people to watch, more people to bet on. Excuse me. Wescott, your cornbread is gone, and there is no more cornbread.
Oh.
I'm a little disappointed.
I imagine. Because you probably had a good-sized piece of it, had taken like 1 or 2 bites out of it in the time you had, and then somebody said, no, Wescott, go fight some more. And you said, okay. And then somewhere along the way, somebody knocked over your glass of water and dumped it on your cornbread.
I look at Staff Sergeant Pike and ask, I think that's enough for combatives for today?
You don't want to keep the tradition?
Getting my ass beat? No. Sorry, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
I tell him, like, yeah. See how it goes.
Burn her whole ass 1 hit point right now.
Okay, my whole ass 6 stress, panic 9, 1 hit point.
Hang on 1 second, guys. I gotta go help my kid.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Wescott. This is not gonna go well.
I mean, this is so much of a like. I mean, this is part of the hazing, right?
Huh?
Like, you beat up the 2 big people. One of them quit, the other one you put into the ground, and then, like, as proof that you ain't no bitch, you're stepping into this fight anyways. Like, this is just continuing the reputation of Wescott, the combat monster.
Yes, Wescott, the combat monster reputation, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, apologies. I'm back. What did I miss?
Just like 2 comments.
Okay.
Not even like 2 sentences worth. Yeah, it's good. As Pike said, that this is just continuing the tradition of Wescott being the combat monster.
Okay.
So, like, as Wright pulls, or as Wally pulls Wright out of off the mat to recover, Pike is taking his top off.
Oh, the crowd is like, oh shit, here we go. The main event, folks.
And he looks at Wally and says, Wright
Thanks for that,
quit.
Luke.
Wright didn't quit, because Marines don't quit. And Wescott, even though Wescott knows how this might go, ain't no bitch. And puts his top down, just further shaming Wally, and then steps into the ring with Wescott and just motions for her to attack.
All right, here we go. There literally is somebody right now who has found some cardboard, like a sheet of cardboard or something, and has rolled it up into a megaphone, and they are literally crouching on top of one of the dinner tables, and they've got this megaphone, and they're just like, here we go, folks, main event. Who's it gonna be, Pike or Wescott? Let's go, get your bets in. Last chance, last chance. Wescott, whenever you're ready, please.
Yeah, so
do your
Wescott
best.
takes a moment to breathe, and then she makes her first roll.
Not horrible.
It's still push.
It's still push.
I am. I think I should apologize in advance.
Holy shit. 3 face huggers on that one. 10, you are frozen by fear. Something about this doesn't sit right. I think, you know what? I can tell you exactly what happens. When Pike comes out onto the mat, you are ready. He gives you the motion, come at me, bro. and you make your move, and something about the lighting, something about the way Pike is silhouetted against the backdrop of this room and the other people in it, it triggers that memory of when he was shooting at you in Winston, and you just freeze in place, not sure what to do. Pike, it looked like she was getting ready to swing on you, and now she's stunned. It's almost as bad as when she was on the station and you could see the lights were on, but nobody was home. But this doesn't have quite the same look, but similar.
Oh, and of course, her stress also goes up.
Yep.
So I'm pretty
theoretically
sure that,
everybody else's stress is supposed to go up
goes
too.
up.
Yeah,
it applies to basically everybody in the area.
Pretty much everybody else is stunned. They're like, "What is going on?" And nobody knows, of course. Like there might have been some scuttlebutt rumor shit, but nobody knows for sure. All I know is that Wescott was kicking ass, and all of a sudden she just froze mid-stride, and they don't understand a thing. Pike, it's totally up to you on how you want to handle this.
Okay, Pike wants to try to help her save face. He wants to make it seem like it's more dramatic as opposed to like a freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I only lost by slow action. Like I still technically can block. So
this is true. But you are definitely in that moment. This is not the Pike you know. This is the Pike that shot and killed your medic and damn near killed you.
How would you do this? So I'm trying to think of how to do this without you making me do a roll. Because like he's not trying to like be a master orator or anything and like sway the crowd to some like profound whatever. He wants to just talk up that she's here and that she's in the ring. So I think he's gonna say something like, this here has been
eloquent.
This here is proof. Real Marines never back down, and they learn through their defeats. I told all of you, she could beat 2/3 to 3/4 of the crew of this ship. And you finally got to see her fight someone other than me. This is gonna fuck up your betting pools. And that's what he does for his turn. He's just trying to like basically look like he's the one delaying the start.
Okay. Make a manipulation roll for me,
please. Do I have could I? Because this is not a because this is sort of like an aggressive shaming statement to everyone else. Like this is the real Marine in this room. Mm-hmm. The rest of you need to be like this person.
Yeah.
Could I say that this is a more aggressive, intimidating type manipulation?
I will live with that.
Okay.
I know you've got like a billion dice because you throw strength on this one instead of your piddly wits.
Yeah.
Or not wits, empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah. Which is also piddly.
An intimidation roll is basically just the diplomacy.
Wow, one success. But that's all you needed.
But it's a success. I win.
Yeah. So the crowd is all like, they definitely feel no small measure of shame. There are a number. If there was 20 people in here, 6 or 7 of them definitely have their heads down, like they don't want to show their face to you right now. Because they know they would not go into the ring, period. They've been sitting here betting all night. They love seeing this shit, but they're not man enough, or
they don't have the courage to step.
Yeah, they don't have the Marine cojones to actually step in the ring with, for all intents and purposes, Spec 4. You know, they're regular line grunts at best, and they're not gonna fuck around with you guys. They know better. There's a few others that are okay. Yeah, he's definitely got a point there. Maybe next time I won't be so spineless, and maybe next time I'll get in the ring. And of course, the 2 senior NCOs.
Anybody other than Pike.
Yeah. And the 2 NCOs, there's 2 senior NCOs in the back that are at least staff sergeant, and they just kind of look at Pike and they're like, right on, Marine. You go, Marine. They don't say anything. They give you the nod.
back to Wescott.
Yeah, Wescott.
Oh
Who's
God.
no longer frozen. Pike really wants you to hit him.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god. Hey, if we get lucky, you might roll high enough to overkill.
That'd be hilarious. Except it wouldn't be hilarious, but it would be.
I mean,
1, 11.
it's an 11. You can overkill.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll overkill.
Ooh.
All right. Well, that is a success with one roll then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You do have. Go ahead.
Yeah. Pike is going to give you the dignity of treating you seriously.
Which means he's about to flatten you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! All the
I mean,
dice.
it kind of doesn't really matter what he rolls. It's because I have to second wind and stand back up.
Yeah.
But it's, for the narrative of like how hard he hits you, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 total successes. Tell me what happens.
Well, she got 1 success, so I have 4.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it's not like it's like we can see that she went into overkill and she throws herself in a rage. Pike takes like half a step back for reach, pulls back his fist, and when she swings, he just comes in over her fist and slams in the face hard enough that people think he might have broken her neck.
My nose is already broken, by the way.
Yeah, so there's blood everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So she would probably roll and then second wind and pop back up to her feet.
Let's
Okay.
do the second wind.
Yeah. Make that second wind roll. Let's see what happens.
Second wind has made Wescott such a badass. You full heal.
That's amazing. And that
That
panic
is
doesn't really
amazing.
matter, does it?
She's overkilling. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She just gets up too pissed.
She no sells it. That's I think she takes the punch, and physics is what physics is. So she probably gets knocked back. Maybe she falls, but she otherwise, for all intents and purposes, she straight up no sells your punch. Didn't hurt me, bro.
Oh God. It's not great for her overall well-being, but she does it.
Yeah. She's up, and you are. I believe, much like Frenzy and Blood Bowl, you have to make an attack at this point.
She can't stop.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my counter.
Oh.
Is it your turn
yeah,
to actually?
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was
my turn to
Yep.
just.
Well, that was. We'll just call it.
We'll call that the block.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm still have the -2, so I would have used that roll anyways.
3. That's a panic roll, but total of 7. And -2 agility.
All right, so we got 7 off of a block of 4. He's just gonna hit her in the face for 5 damage.
I believe that puts her back down again.
Oh yeah, that's more health than I have.
It ends the fight.
I think like she does the roll back and then like gets up to get back into it.
It just gets bopped again.
And he just kicks her in the side of the head and just drops her.
Yeah, sack of potatoes. But
and then like as he like turns to face away because he knows what he's like as soon as she's lights out, he turns to face away from her and puts his hands up. And there's a shake to it as he's trying to calm himself away from continued violence, and that's the tremble. Because he's trying not to pounce on an opportunity target and just murder her.
Yeah. There is one of those 2 senior non-commissioned officers in the back. One of them coughs a bit, not really shakenly, but there's definitely a cough. The other one says, "All right, that's enough. Get this shit cleaned up. Staff sergeant, take care of your soldier." I'm sorry, he wouldn't say soldier. Take care of your Marine. And the crowd begins to. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He's what, but I want to be fair. He and his partner are probably like a gunnery and a master, but they are ones that you would never normally see down here. So they're probably like senior ship staff or some shit.
Okay.
They wouldn't normally come down to the Marine country. They're Marines. right? Because this is a Marine ship.
It's called the Intership Gossip Network. Called them down for a combatives practice.
Absolutely, they absolutely came down here for the show, but now things have gotten super serious, and one of them's like, this is weird, and the other one's like, time to shut this shit down.
Right, so
this
Gunny,
is how it ends every time.
So they went from being like discreet to the back to Gunny a step forward to Gunny the whole thing over with, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll like, as he's like not looking at her, and he's clenching his fist, he looks over and says, "Aye, Gunny." And he'll like take a deep breath, and then he will pick up Wescott.
All right, the crowd disperses. One of the last people to notice as you are straightening things up and attending to mostly starting to come back to and not overkilly Wescott is, of course, your personal favorite, Colonel Arnold, standing there watching, completely deadpanned, clipboard in hand. Except this time he waves you over, Pike, to come join him over by the drink dispensers.
This is very gratifying for Pike, because Colonel Arnold has now seen tonight the results of this brutal training when Wescott mopped two giant dudes, like two giant people.
Yeah, he will never admit it openly, but it was obvious he was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Just off to the side where nobody can actually see him if they're paying attention to the fights.
Yeah, so like he nods and looks down to make sure that Wescott is awake and not foaming at the mouth.
I think both the privates are like, ooh, this got super serious. And they're both like attending, like starting to gather up Wescott's shit and probably start trying to figure out how to get her down to the med bay without making it obvious.
I thought, right, go get some towels. And I'll get up and walk over to Colonel Arnold.
Arnold resumes his hands or arms folded over his chest. You know, he's got a clipboard in one hand, so it's probably like under his arms or something. And he says, keep your fucking team alive this time. Your next mission is at the Sonderdatch mine on the Grandy Moon. Someone dug too deep, it seems. Start getting your people ready. We'll be jumping out of here in a few hours. And waits a moment to see if maybe you have anything to say in response other than, yes, sir.
Sir, is there any pre-mission information I can read up on?
It's a mine on a moon. They dug too deep. That's all I have right now.
Do we know if it's a...
No. He doesn't even wait for you to finish. He's like, no, I literally told you everything. He's not saying this, I'm being a smartass, but he's like, I literally told you everything I know. I don't know anymore yet. This is the best I could do for, oh God, this is a military term and I can't think of it. Mission planning, informing your people, 2/3, 1/3, something like that.
As soon as he like cuts off and says that.
Pre-warning order.
Yeah. So as soon as he says that and like cuts Pike off, Pike just nods and says, "Aye, Colonel."
Yeah, and
I'll get us straightened out and ready.
Yep. And as it happens, in a few hours, the alarm goes off for everybody to bed down, and shortly after that, you're at FTL and you're knocked out. Wherever you may be on the ship.
I will take Wescott to see a medic to get the bones reset in her face. So I fucked up their work trying to fix that already.
Man, it's gonna be a meme. Wescott's got the most fucked up nose in the game, I think, at this point.
Well, this is the first time she broke her nose with a crit, so they just made it worse.
Yeah, Pike is gonna take her away to go to see the medics and leave the other three so Warren can lord over the other two and they can all talk about like, hey, Pike is quick to anger and he can do that. Like, also gives Warren time to establish himself with the privates.
Warren, is there anything you want to do with the privates before we wrap for the night? You've got a couple hours before you need to be bedded down.
I think he's more than impressed with everyone's behavior at this point, and he has actually not fought anyone, which is surprising because he's usually like willing to fight Pike.
I wonder, is there a part of Warren that's like, man, just as I was getting ready to throw my name in the hat, somebody had to get knocked out and get the gunny involved.
So Zach leans over and goes, "Hey, PFC Warren, does this happen often?"
Every chance we can.
I mean, he's a Lance Corporal, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Lance Corporal.
Hey, Lance Corporal Warren, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So combatives training in the mess hall?
It's not really combative training, it's more of like morale training. And yes, it happens a lot. Pretty much every chance we have.
I love that this has become a tradition, by the way. It's even been added in my last couple of, the last two.
He looks over at Right and goes,
yeah.
This happened often at your last posting?
No. The captain was pretty rough with us, but other than that, we just did actual combatant training in a normal area.
Yeah, didn't happen at mine either. Must be one of those frontline unit things.
It's gonna be fun.
He kind of fist bumped you a little. He fist bumps White.
We got taken out by a 5'0" girl.
I know, right?
They like bond over that for a minute.
Dude,
that's definitely a trauma bond.
You went in for a second dish of that.
Oh my god! And then going after Staff Sergeant Pike right after, like, geez, no.
Were you awake enough to see her do that?
Well, yeah, I kind of awake.
Yeah.
Kind of awake means
who goes after Staff Sergeant Pike? Because they have no clue
big.
that he's
they don't realize
basically an elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
he's a sub-elemental.
They just know he's 6'6" and he's got anger problems.
Yeah,
he's 6'6" and a fucking mean asshole.
He's he seems like a terrible person to fight, and that's pretty much what the takeaway from any of these private first classes.
Yeah.
Type of missions do these guys do if that's the normal level of combative training?
And then somebody just randomly comes by. It's probably not even a Marine. It's like a somebody, from the Navy or whatever, that one, like a Navy foreman. They come by and
I want Warren to
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I want Warren to be like, okay, so like last mission, me and one of the other enlisted, we probably took out like 15-20 people on a deck with our bare hands in a space station that was gonna go under.
Going uphill both ways in the snow? I'm sorry, I had to.
I know what I signed up for, but
what's funny is that there's not that much exaggeration in that statement. That was a wild
The
fight.
Official number, I'm just gonna say 10 off the top of my head. That's how many people Warren and Watts took down collectively.
Yeah,
was 10
and
people.
It's mostly Watts.
Yeah.
Mostly Watts.
Well, I mean, you took out like 8 of them with a grenade at one time.
Yeah, 6 of them. It was like 6 in a 6 or 7 in the.
I think it was 7 or 8.
Something like that. Yeah. It was at least 10 total. At least 10 total.
Yeah, but they went through like 5 or 6 soldiers. Then I think it was more like 12 at least.
Yeah.
Because it was like 7, 8 in the docking bay, and then it was 3, 4 people on the ground plus 2 people they were running around.
Yep.
So.
10 to 12.
Just definitely a terrible time.
Yeah. So when Warren says that, he's not exaggerating. He may be misremembering some of the finer details, i.e. an exact body count, but also more or less spot on.
Exactly how many of them were hand-to-hand combat kills?
Did his decoration get approved by the colonel?
What did you put him in for again? I don't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, I put him in for a star with valor for like single-handedly standing against an entire assault team while like. I
think Arnold would have spent a fair amount of time reviewing combat footage and your reports and been like, oh yeah, In fact, why don't you go prep me a shuttle? We're gonna go see the general right now. And so by the time you guys get back, in fact, shortly after your last conversation with him, he does show up to give you the award to give to him.
Excellent. So
Which
I feel like
I will
does
admit,
this.
by the way, for those familiar with the military, that's not how awards are awarded. It's usually a big deal, but Arnold
also
and I think
Black
Arnold
Ops
recognizes
unit.
that, but he's also like, "You guys did some good shit out there. Make sure he knows I said that." And then that's all he says. Of course, it's all deadpan and everything.
Yeah. So I feel like he has this conversation. Like, I want to wait until you're done talking to these guys, but you've just dropped that flex on them. Like, I know this shit's fucking whack, yo.
Yeah, we killed 15 people. No big shit.
I feel like Wally here is going to be good friends with Wright real fast because, oh dear God, what are these people doing? It's going to be a real quick buddy making. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
because I just had to write in.
in.
Trauma bonding, yes. Now, the real question is, who's going to be their rival for their first session that they showed up?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pike was like demeaning and awful to them for like their whole first thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Pike is definitely on that list then.
All right. Do you want to give him the award?
Yes, I feel like while they're sinking in and they're trying to decide whether or not Warren is full of shit, is when Pike comes back, and he's got the citation itself, and he's got the medal in a box, so he can read the citation to him. And he's like,
"Oh God."
Yeah, so he's like, all right, everybody, front and center.
Mm-hmm.
Attention to orders, and he reads it. And I am not going to mock up an entire decoration off the top of my head. Fuck you, but
no. I was actually wondering if you had one when you paused and you were opening your Word doc that had it all written out.
But he reads it, and it's like, you are being awarded for,
conspicuous gallantry
in
the face of overwhelming adversity from enemy fire and contact.
Standing against overwhelming enemy force, Lance Corporal Warren fought outnumbered and outarmed team of 6 UPP Special Forces commandos in melee combat. After surviving in defense of his teammate despite being cripplingly injured and barely conscious, single-handedly wiped out an 8-man UPP commando assault team. He reads this whole thing out. Your actions reflect great credit upon yourself, the United States Colonial Marine Corps, and the United Americas. And
it's signed. It's signed by General Delilah Vaughn.
Yeah, and he reads that signed by, what is she? She's a
full general, 4-star.
Yeah. General signed, General Delilah Vaughn, and like he pins him, and when he does the take and shake, it says, the colonel sends his regards. Good shit.
Thank you, Sergeant Pike.
Right? And Wally.
And they're just all big-eyed watching all of this.
I imagine they're standing there going, oh, he wasn't lying. What the fuck have we gotten ourselves into?
And I think, like, after we do the take and shake, he'll reach into his, like, around behind his back and pull out
the armor.
He's gonna pull out Watt's knife and give you Watt's knife.
Did you clean it up?
It's cleaned, but it's obvious that it's Watt's knife.
Yeah. I was just curious because there was a macabre part of me that was like, oh, that would be sick if it was still covered in their blood and shit. But also that'd be nasty if it were. So.
Yeah,
that's just a biohazard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I love the fact that you both said the same thing at the same time.
Bloodborne disease are not just a video game.
Listen, on one hand, it would be pretty badass, but also, yeah, that's a bit disgusting. Clean that shit up.
The spleen attached to one of them.
It's all withered and dried out.
He pulls out Watt's knife and hands it to Warren and says, "You need to continue his fight."
Awesome. And then he takes it, and it's probably like a K-bar, I guess, with like the.
It's the standard issue Marine survival knife, and I feel like that knife from this moment forward is going to be a totem item for this unit, this squad. Like, It's one of those things. It's
yeah.
almost right up there with the guide on. Don't you dare let these colors touch the ground.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
look.
our battle standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That knife goes into every fight, and that knife leaves every fight.
Yep.
Does that mean we get to talk about the armor art people got?
Not yet, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's been like 4 sessions.
No, but when we get ready to kick off this next mission, which is also known as Operation Deep Shaft, love that name for all the wrong reasons.
Okay, so
that was fucking perfect, Luke. Awesome. Let's talk about experience points.
so at the beginning of your notes for next session, you need to put
Yeah,
armor art.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, I mean, it's a good time to reveal it because, like, in the last few episodes, like, nobody's seen the armor, but maybe, you know, behind the scenes, somebody's been doing all the work. So when you guys are gearing up to get on the dropship, this will be there'll be a chance where everybody's walking into the back of the dropship and there's a camera that gets a clean, well-lit, clear shot of everybody's chest plate as they walk by. All right, experience points. All 5 characters get 1 experience point. So don't forget to include your 2 newbies.
Yep.
Did you risk or sacrifice something to further your agenda? Don't think we had any of that.
The getting the medal didn't give me the experience, right?
Well, you already got your XP for it.
Yeah, I did already get my XP for it.
Did you risk your life for your buddy? Anybody do any life risky stuff?
Not a lot of life risky.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Do we want to argue for Wescott rolling in to fight the elemental with 1 hit point?
I think that's the next one.
I feel like we might need to rolling into Pike for dealing with Wescott while she's overkilling.
Well, technically he didn't really. I guess actually he did deal with her simply by putting her down twice.
I have an argument for Wescott. Okay. She went up against both new boots, so to speak,
and then Pike,
because Pike like kind of did it to her, I guess, to get against the new peoples. So she went up like round after round.
I feel like that's covered by did you do something extraordinary?
Yeah, I was literally just looking through this. I was like, I feel like that definitely fits that one better. However, the next one, did you challenge or stand up to your rival? I believe Wescott standing up to Pike counts. Am I wrong?
Yes.
That you guys are
Pike is still listed as both her rival and her buddy at the moment.
Okay. So you definitely get that one.
I put some time into fucking with Wally, who is my rival.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you definitely, because you had him trying to change the course of the spaceship. That was amazing. I love that line.
That's beautiful.
That was a slight change to a line that I heard in basic. It was get down and push Texas.
I've heard things similar, you know. Yeah.
I've heard it often enough that I knew exactly what you meant as you said it. And I wasn't even in the military.
I definitely took a moment to watch and gauge the 3 of you to see who was going to understand that push-ups were just ordered for this individual. But yeah, it looked like everybody got it. The 3 of you made panic rolls. I believe even Warren. Am I right?
Not Warren, no.
Okay.
I don't think Wally made panic.
I don't think Wally or Wright had to make panic rolls.
No.
I think so. It would have just been Pike and Wescott.
Yeah, why does Wally have 1 stress?
He may have pushed or something.
Yeah. He pushed roll. He doesn't get it for that.
Like how Pike has decided to just keep referring to him as a cartoon character.
That's amazing. And it's Wally. Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means? Wescott, yes. Pike, questionable.
So she's overkilling. She can't stop the violence.
Okay,
I did have to put down the murder bunny.
That was my questionable as far as the resolution on that. So yeah. So Pike, she may not have been terribly dangerous to you, but she was still a threat, period.
She was dangerous to the room, right? Like the other 2 that she fought were what I think would have qualified as her enemies for overkill as well, because she'd been fighting them.
I do not believe we had a significant discovery or revelation this evening.
Pike's pillow talk.
Ah, yes. Well, I definitely feel like Eckhart might have had that.
She certainly would get this point too, right?
Yeah, I'll allow that. Pike, go ahead, take one. It's a little questionable, but we'll allow it. In the Pike exploring his discovery, I have feelings, and I might have a future outside of the Marine Corps one day. This is new to me.
My argument isn't that Pike has feelings, because the Queen capitalized on those feelings. His significant discovery is that she's like open, she's thinking about it, she's open to the idea, when he thought that he was just making a throwaway statement.
Yeah.
And he was worried that he was going to be fucking up a good deal. So yeah. I think his significant discovery is that might actually go somewhere. Maybe.
You know what's amazing that I just realized is you play Pike in this relationship with Eckhart in the way you want to, right? But don't tell me what your intentions with Eckhart are. And then I will play Eckhart off of Pike, believing that you want one thing or another. And then, of course, tempered with whatever I think Eckhart might do. And this will be almost like a real relationship between the two characters, where at various points in time, they're confused about what the other one is talking about or what the other one intends. And so there's just are they together or are they not? God damn it.
It's okay, Omar. I'll pretend date you. That's fine.
Jesus Christ. If I wanted that, I would have said that straight up. Kane, I want you to date me.
I was just going to say that
it's important
two men...
Yes.
Two men flirting at a table for like an hour.
I'm trying. Yeah, let me tell you, role playing as a man, role playing with another man, some pillow talk. That was not awkward at all. No, not at all.
Nada.
Hey, that's almost as good as what I did to my DM this morning.
Oh God. Oh God.
I'll tell you after the stream, though, because that was mean. What I did this morning.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
I think this one definitely goes to Wescott.
Yeah. Yeah, Wescott, absolutely. And then lastly...
She went for 3 fights.
Yeah. And she was still standing, other than the fact that Overkill took over and she had to use second wind because whatever. But, like, definitely went into 3 fights. And then lastly, all 5 get a final experience point because they're still receiving paychecks. Feedback and outros, my friends. We'll start with Kane. Kane, feedback and other thoughts? What do you got?
I enjoyed our pillow talk.
I had a feeling you were going to lead off with that. Oh my God. That and all of the fucking military reminders and memories.
Oh, yeah. Go doing a little micro drill.
Yep. The drill, the eggs.
Thank you for that, Austin. That was a good laugh. That was a good laugh for terrible memories.
Yeah. That was really the can coming off of that, or the lid coming off of that can, was him mentioning anything about eggs. Because I definitely caveated on that with my very vivid descriptions.
I also think we are imminently going to run into Pike's confliction with Chuck over whether or not Chuck lied to him with his note.
Oh, are you talking about Badge Man?
Yeah.
Because you can call him whatever you want, but he has no actual name. He's kind of like the smoking man from X-Files.
Like I said, I'm going to keep the meme alive. Every time I start referring to him, I'm going to use a different name.
That's why it takes me a second or two to figure out who you're talking about.
Hey, it's his fault.
Absolutely. Because he never tells you his name, because he's little bit behind the scenes. He's not really authorized to be speaking to you.
Yeah. I mean, Pike is considering it seriously, because it's basically suicidal to roll in and drop that you work for SecDef while you're messing with stuff if you don't.
Yeah.
That is a seriously dangerous play. And
especially right there in what is otherwise a shopette on a military installation.
Yeah. It also, for Pike, like, on top of the fact that extreme claim has so much danger to it, adds credibility to it.
Mm-hmm.
But Pike would also recognize that that means that this all these conversations we've been having, even if he is totally legit, has been very dangerous for him. And he went from this is just another spook asshole to having some respect for the danger that guy was putting himself in to talk to Pike.
There's no reason why he's doing what he's doing. I can't reveal everything, but I'm sure the player can deduce quite a bit, if not the character. You got anything else?
No, really excited for Pike to figure out how he does or doesn't want to fuck up this next mission on purpose.
Luke, feedback, other thoughts? What do you got, my friend?
As games become more and more lethal, this becomes more and more high stakes, and it's pretty interesting.
What is your stress at? Not your characters. What is Luke's stress at? How many yellow dice are you throwing right now?
Probably like a good 7.
Okay. Emotional investment? No. High.
No, just in general. Just in
general. Okay.
Yeah. But no, this is going pretty good direction. I'm actually surprised how easily Wescott was able to take out like bigger, stronger people in order. But that was actually really cool. So I'm happy.
I liked that Rodance threw in not just going all out damage, but like, oh, I've got stunts. Let me just throw these little shits out of the ring and make them realize that I'm the mama bear and you need to get in line.
Yeah.
I really like that.
She doesn't fight them for the same reason, so it makes sense that she treats them separately.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pike, you got to put all the damage into him, because if you don't, he's going to come right back at you. Period. The end. Quite literally your end.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it for now.
All right. Rodance, feedback, other thoughts? What do you got?
Poor Wescott. Once again, on the floor right before mission, being picked up. Just so we're clear, I really, really hope she makes her stress roll in the morning, because otherwise she's rolling into the mission with 8 stress.
That is very bad.
Pike has intentionally put together a take care of my people care package.
I noticed that's what you were doing when you were getting ready to head out to the tarmac. You're like, I need a little bit of this. I need a little bit. I recognize that.
Well, I mean, I don't think Wescott realizes what she's doing, so she wouldn't really clue in on the fact she probably needs to drug herself to behave, because I don't think she is that aware of the issue.
No, but you know what will help? A command roll followed with the command, eat this pill. That's why he grabbed the nap relief.
Don't worry, Pike's got your back.
Is Pike finally happy that she's psychotic enough to keep getting up and attacking him?
Yeah, Pike likes her.
Yeah. We had a moment there where it was not going well.
No, but she rose to the occasion.
Option says, don't forget RPGs. I believe he's recommending that you take RPGs on this next mission. I'm not sure if that's where he's going with that.
Well, you did just get
to the fact that I made the deal. I got the 2 RPGs for 24 man hours of hard.
Yes,
that's gonna be funny. I actually did pick up my other Comtech talent right quick.
I saw that for remote.
You that's need the other Comtech specific talent. So I now have both of them, and the rest of them are the 3 shared marine talents.
Let me pull up that real quick and drop it on you.
Wait, does my panic end when I go unconscious?
You can go ahead and clear it. I'll allow that. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's necessarily by the book, but
I mean, we're gonna go to sleep and then wake up. So, like, it's the panic condition's over. Plus, overkill ends when you're downed and you can't get back up. So,
yeah.
All right, you have a remote.
Cool.
Are we? We are not good for next week, by the way. My son has a school thing, so I will not be available that evening.
Okay, let me mark that off my calendar.
That said, are we good the following Tuesday, which my calendar says is the 12th?
Oh, by the way, in case you forgot, next Tuesday is also election day, so you should go vote if you haven't, and you've registered and all that jazz.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Do what you feel is best for you.
Well, I mean, it doesn't apply to Luke because it's not election day
No.
on the 5th of Canada.
I was thinking
far
of
as I'm
the,
aware.
I was thinking of the
This
viewers,
isn't
but I was
a-
about to make what was once upon a
This
time
isn't
called
a
a
wasn't
political
election.
conversation. That political. Oh my God, help me out, Kane. What the fuck is it
Dude,
called in Slayer's
say
Nights?
that-
This is not a political show. So,
No.
so it has
This is
no-
a fantasy of the space.
Controversial political statement. That's what it is.
Why do you think I literally said, "Hey, it's election day"? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, don't forget it's daylight savings time this coming
It
Sunday.
is. It is. I'm going to forget.
Those are both major scheduled things. The exact same way that we're never going to have an issue with Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday, but we are going to have an issue with Christmas because Tuesday is Christmas Eve.
Yes, because my
And we're
birthday
sure
was on
as
a Wednesday.
shit not playing 40K on Christmas Day. Like, I like y'all, but I don't like y'all that much.
The God Emperor does not approve of this message.
You
There
guys
will
have
be-
families?
Yeah, what's that?
it's weird.
Hey, we might play on the 31st because then for a good chunk of us, we'll actually be playing New
That
Year's.
would definitely preempt my attempt at a midnight stream or New Year's Eve stream because anyway, yeah. Logistics.
Just saying.
All right.
Logistics are a thing.
Yeah. That is it for us here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you are watching live on stream, this is probably the worst time for me to say this. I should say this more like in the beginning or the middle. But if you ! Discord, you can get the link to the Discord server and you can come join us. You come hang out with us and do all the crazy things that other people do on Discord servers. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link for the server is in the description below. Come hang out with us. Otherwise, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but now I just can't think of it. That is it for tonight. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy dark place, so make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we're out of here. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.